Everest and their Southwest. This is a good approach to the game from them. GK doing something very similar, looking to hold out the teams that are on the southern edge. You've just got Milu remaining down there.
Ooh. Alpha 7's position gets so much stronger when E-Arena leave the top of Everest. For GOAT team, that is good news for the time being, but as soon as E-Arena move, the rooftops become so dangerous against GOAT team. They're going to have to go for this one. And I feel like E-Arena is starting to peel off those angles.
Survive.
Look over towards AlUla again. They have had that.
Stage day 2. It's here. कैसे आप लोग ठीक ठाक कर रहे हो?
Towards Killer Joe. That's a backstab coming through here.
मैं लेट हूँ आज बहुत लेट आया बहुत लेट आया.
Revo
ये दूसरा मैच है ना? वालेकुम सलाम वालेकुम सलाम वालेकुम सलाम. Welcome welcome welcome.
Is distracting.
अब ये क्या चल रहा है देखने क्या चल रहा है यार?
Goat turns their eye towards them. You could see them just about.
कोई बता सकता है क्या चल रहा है?
Down towards that southeast.
Oh my yes. Welcome welcome.
Hyunbin causing problems there. Nongchen Red Force again, they're on 2 players alive. They're out of this current zone blank. They have to step forwards. So finding these little openings is exactly what they needed. Diminishing the power of the team across the way.
Alpha 7 geek.
Love to see it. Hyunbin.
Look at भाई Wolfie.
Connecting either way.
Wait, look at come back किया हुआ है.
Closer with
oh boy saw.
Scouting done. Hyunbin.
What is this, my friend?
Have to duck back as he
God not coming slow, my friend.
And in the meantime, TZ is bending off against Geeko, who won a third party.
Wallah, God.
Yeah, Hyunbin going down here. Good nades coming through from GOAT team, but the shots from the sidelines here, and it is Revo. This is good. Very, very well done. You have to capitalize on that. And this was the plan from the very start, John, for Alpha 7. Looking better and better as the day goes on here. Kiwoom DRX technically have sent a circle on this one, but they have been so lackluster.
Oh boy,
call them doing much They'll have to change
Revo check it yaar. Revo check it.
Arena did now finally pull fully off of Everest.
1v4, 1v2, Thamba.
Oh, Millie
before time. Millie. Geek के साथ 1v4 Geek के साथ.
Connected as well.
Geek के साथ 1v4.
Chance here.
Oh my yes.
To go big again.
Oh my yes.
The 2 players from GK not getting back on up, and he
has
got them on
1v2.
They're trying to step into position to go for this res. But
GK versus Thamba.
Into the building now.
Malia.
The res gets he's got enough. He's just got in the DBS out of ammo, and there is no more left in the tank.
Easy. The day of GK though.
No kills, easy.
That is nuts. I mean,
no kills,
just
easy.
Disgusting. Oh my goodness me.
Oh my goodness.
GOAT team to 8 eliminations on this game despite everything still putting up those points.
Welcome salam.
Trying to catch him off guard there. Foopsman.
आज मैं late आया.
From Nongchen Red Force, Kiwoom taking shots over. And Force will be knocked, leaving just Foopsman remaining. We'll see if Alpha 7 is able to pick up that point, and they do.
Oh, he steps out into it. TZ holds his nerve, gets across, and now looks to heal. There's a lot of crates on this location, remember, because Milu was doing some dastardly.
Yeah, Alpha 7 chicken karegi, dekh lo.
Loot here, but I don't know if TZ is going to stop. In the meantime, AG.AL, good shot. 721 GS looking to take the fight. AG.AL with their maximum successful rotate earlier on. Looking to try and convert now into transition into this circle. Alpha 7. Oh, they've just lost a player on that northern side. Revo went out too close to E-Arena and does get clipped.
I mean, it has to be the scout, though. I think that's fair. The fact they were trying to gather information, now the rest of the team knows that there's players on this north side. So annoying for AG.AL, by the way, because AlUla not for a second tried to check Kenji. So no one's known he's here for so long. He backstabs over towards AG.AL, starts to move out, and he has completely scuppered their game plan.
KRX.
Changing the tempo of the lobby. As E-Arena look to try and isolate this northern side as well.
Everyone.
He's just going for it. Okay, Kenji, a demon on the descent there. Leaving one player back. We thought it might have been a misplay, but Blank. I think I still believe that. But he goes down, but a really solid performance from that angle. But Dopeness, 4 elims into a 6th place. I think that's more than they could have hoped for in that spot.
Another
Stream
late
issue.
entry for AG.AL though today.
यार देखो आप लोगों का
Being
नेट
very
का प्रॉब्लम
these
होगा
games,
टिकटॉक
nice
वालों
to see
चेक करो
their name popping up.
कैसे
Towards the
स्ट्रीम
end
इशू
points,
कर रहा
AlUla forced to move down, and AG.AL looking to bolster this position. They flow up.
Porte
Looking over towards KRX, XZZ opens up over towards Claws, but it's Yasser over towards Flower H to get him down. This is going back and forth, but Maple comes through with the shotgun and will finish them off in fantastic fashion. They've got to get quickly with those players back up on their feet. But E-Arena from the western side, they've got the license to a limb right now. The spies coming through from on top of Everest. Telescopes, binoculars put away.
Whoa.
Elims on. He wound DRX as well into the fight. XZZ with a chance to shut it all down though. Their chance to jump up the tables to get themselves off of the back foot here, but they are now on one player alive. He's burning. And now the DBS is going to try and shut him down from up on high. Tags one. No.
Hey,
Where did he go down from? Was that E-Arena? Schweppes moves on out. To them. What a flex across.
Alpha 7 now up against E-Arena. Good flex coming through from them, like you say. Goodness me, felt bad for him on that last DBS shot.
E-Arena versus Alpha 7.
Great clutch up for AG.AL, but still a strong game for them. 15 points total. Two final teams. E-Arena, who came blasting out in their group with a huge game, versus Alpha 7, who are slowly but surely regaining confidence in these matches.
Losing Revo earlier may be a difference maker here, though, Blank. For Alpha 7, they need all the sightlines they can get, and E-Arena have been able to change the pace. Play slow and immediately turn it on when it mattered. Rolling around on the hillsides, they're trying to get that information, but Mormon with that MG3, a major threat on the angle. Obscure and Guizal Porte pulling up and maybe looking to go trade for trade with the
TikTok पे stream side नहीं चल रहा लड़कों lag हो रहा है क्या?
And Mormon steps out of the way. MG3 to rattle Obscure straight on down on the hillside. Schweppes steps in. A Joker is the trade. Now two players have the broadside on Tony K, but he manages to turn around the headland and stay alive. A 2v3 now.
Tony K backing off, comes back around the angle. Moment over the top side, he's flying through the air, might get out of the vehicle, but his eye on fire. Guizo goes down to a rundown as he gets out the car, leaving just Cardio.
1v3.
A hard game from there.
1v3
but this feels like an impossible task. Moves off the
Cardio, let's go!
They have to be absolutely exemplary. Cannot get the shots underneath the vehicle over towards Tony K. Likely going to be going for a first aid kit. Swings one far, looking for
Cardio, 1v3.
good. Doesn't quite grab him though, constantly repositioning.
Another Molotov on the vehicle, forces him away from it. Has to step into the firing line. And E-Arena, from atop the Everest position, able to descend, control the northern side, and squeeze the life out of the lobby.
I mean, they pulled up those files. None of them were classified. They had locked in.
यार क्या हुआ? Stream सही नहीं चल रहा क्या? ये क्या है?
Information, there's a northern squad there. So for Alpha 7, another strong game. I think it is a top 6 today.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
अभी चेक करो नेट स्लो है.
Better. They addressed some of the issues from that first rondo. They were a little bit more dynamic when they needed to be.
Good.
Losing Revo may be something they can patch up, but it is consistently, which is exactly what you need for a survival stage. So great news for them. And E-Arena able to do a lot of work to try and push themselves back into that conversation as well. Yeah, there have been questions about the consistency of this roster.
Okay.
Of course, Schweppes the only player here to have that opportunity at the
सारे type करो okay है या फिर भी lag हो रहा है?
He has been able to win it twice before, so to see him go home and survive the stage would be pretty galling, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good stuff so far though. AG.AL looking fantastic. Today seems to be the day of getting back on form, but we'll be back on form very shortly after a very short while.
इंटरनेट सही है, इंटरनेट सही है, ये देखो डाउनलोड अपलोड दोनों सही है। क्या सीन है, मेरे तो समझ में नहीं आ रहा यार। Are you playing this stream from? नहीं तो अभी भी वैसे ही है। यार मैं बंद करो क्योंकि ये टिकटॉक के उससे चला रहा हूं मैं इसको। Why? It should not be like this. हराम या अखी। एक मिनट गाइस। सीरियसली मुझे नहीं मालूम क्या चक्कर है, लेकिन अभी चेक करते हैं, एक मिनट। यार ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए था इसको। मैं फिर से लाइव जा रहा हूं।
Player compared to that, so them being able to sort of scout that position. Obviously, I think when our wonderful AG.AL got out of the vehicle, probably just a bit too early. I think that's where the miscommunication led them, and obviously he was not in a good position whilst you know, Arena was still scouting in the vehicles. But look, it's a better effort. Like, we have to take from yesterday to today, they're getting in those top fives.
And better effort, we saw that from KRX in this game as well. Not necessarily the final push, KRX, but you know what? You guys have been absolutely awful so far, so I'm happy to see some great stuff from you guys.
Yeah, it is nice to see a little bit of life coming in from them, but E-Arena just cleaning things up. Flips, oh my goodness me. E-Arena, I'm very, very impressed with how they played this, waiting for A7 to make a move first, to come to them, to let them know where their position is, and then just going all the way around. I mean, MG3 does help Max. We know how powerful that weapon can be, especially in the hands of a professional team like this. But
welcome, TikTok,
A7
welcome.
had a lot of options, and E-Arena just made sure that those options dwindled very, very quickly. So very happy with EA for this last game.
Quick positive for the teams at the end there, in particular looking at Alpha7 and E-Arena. Not doing these weird drive-bys and just losing all of your momentum. Like, they actually stop the car, get out of the car, start shooting, and then they get back in the car, start driving forward. So I do appreciate that. I'm sure Glenn is going to heavily enjoy that finishing moment. What was it?
So can you do that again for us?
Damn, boy, you made the whole camera shake and everything. But one team that has been performing really well has been Go Team. Go Team, they ended up with the win early on. We know that they can definitely put up the numbers. I want to see Go Team between yesterday and today because this squad is different. Keep in mind, this is total stats, and so far, Go Team, we know those eliminations are going to be coming in, but Lace, one thing I'm looking at is those placement points already double in some the placement points of yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, they're really thinking this through. Even if we, come out of that match and their rotation from military base, and like I do want to kind of add in RRQ just into this mix because they had every opportunity to be able to gatekeep on military. They just decided to rotate, but their power in holding a position is unfortunately not the best. But that's what Goat can realize. They moved through that sort of western side. They were able to position themselves well. Nice split hold, which we see from them so often. They have that dominance power. So this is exactly why we're seeing them collectively get these good positions and these eliminations. So, I mean, it's incredible work from them, and I do believe that they're going to maintain that top six. Throughout yesterday and today, it's amazing.
It really is. I'm really enjoying how they're
playing. The greatest of all time.
It is. It really is. But I really enjoy the zone control that they're trying to keep going for game after game. It's a nice bit of consistency that we're seeing. EA as well, not to go back to them, but they had a really nice push down off the mountain. They were able to sweep behind really, really well after AlUla. Yes, hello, A7 as well. Second place, okay, that's good, that's good. But
stop that.
Stop. No, but for me, AlUla was a really, really nice. The way that they split around to surround Ulf when they pushed out the spread across that zone. They did actually try to push up to EA as well, which I did notice, but I think just that terrain was just not going to be really happening there. But for me, AlUla, except for the final crash where they just disintegrated in 0.5 seconds, apart from that, really good game. I like it. I like it.
Nice, AlUla. One team that I know you were keeping an eye on as well, Max, is none other than Tiamba, because Tiamba, what was it that you were looking at? Tell me a little bit more.
Not a great push, unfortunately, on their Chinese brethrens of all
games.
Thank you,
Arun. Thank you.
I believe we do have a replay that might be coming up in just a few seconds here. Actually, it's going to be this one. But the thing is about Tiamba, I think the idea of pushing onto all gamers is great. You can see all the players get knocked here. And the thing is, if you want to push in this area, you have to commit. You need to send it and eliminate the opposition, which is going to be all gamers in this case, because everyone got wrecked literally upon entry in this area. It's just a nade funnel at that point. And then eventually all gamers, Maple in particular, is like, wait, we got a massive advantage here. We're just going to wrap it up. End up getting all those crushes that only Milu is left alive, which
Alpha 7
in first position, but I'm looking ahead of the finals. In the finals, I would say this is a massive fumble, maybe that could cost them the tournament. So Tiamba, position like this, you can't play too passive. You need to commit if you want to come out on top.
Especially when you have a team like AG.AL wanting to be even more aggressive, wanting to make that push, because they also need the points. This is a team that hasn't really been performing well, but let's take a look at how the standings are currently looking. Tiamba is still in first place, but Alpha 7 making that push now to second place. Go Team, due to those amazing eliminations that they were able to get in that last game, they've maintained themselves there within the top 3. And we're going to start seeing a bit of a gap here between some of the points too, Max, as FURIA goes all the way down to 5th.
Yeah, it's been looking a little bit tough, unfortunately. I'm not seeing anything from Silence and AG.AL, which is quite unfortunate. We know those guys are very good, literally on the local stage or on the international stage.
Points balance of the
FURIA, so I'm What's going on? They're losing players on like Face, 2 or 3 Niptura. This is not the Ulf that
यार ये बड़ी-बड़ी टीमों का क्या हो गया यार guys?
Anybody knows, quite frankly, it's not the one we saw in the group stage. Yes, they kind of slowed down in some of the group stage games, but this is it's not the same. It's not the same at all. I don't know what's happening. We've gone from, you know, players of, you know, the old Fireflux, right? We had players of old Fireflux being, you know, with Ketch as the AG.AL, and they're making such a massive comeback, and then all of a sudden they get here, and it's just, they just fizzle out, and I'm so confused because this is a team that has incredible firepower, right? They are so good at that aggressive play, and we're just not seeing anything. Well, exactly. I mean, how do you go from old Fireflux, a lot of those players being on old Fireflux with that reputation, coming over here, continuing that reputation, and then doing nothing now?
Just final point on that one. Usually they're slow starting team. This is taking way too long to like build up that momentum. It's very, very slow.
That's right, Alpha 7 fans.
यार
because the team is finally performing.
fourth right already final में है.
Well, let's send it over to none other than the man with high energy, Hot Jukes and Kalaris.
Yes, all right. We've got a few teams to talk about before we actually kind of get things into the next game. I got Hot Jukes here with me.
क्या बोलते हो?
And we got a few
कौन
teams
top
such as
1 पे रहेगा
getting themselves a win.
आज कौन रहेगा top 1? क्या बोलते
Here
हो?
from Everest
बताओ
was a
सारे.
great position to stage this from. Good information from there. Not only a great staging.
वालेकुम सलाम.
Absolutely. I mean, when you said
ZK,
the biggest
salam.
highs, right? They've had like the biggest in a past for Rondo.
Mohammed, welcome. Mohammed Shahzad,
Still
salam.
couldn't make it into the finals then, but they're here now. They get the chicken dinner. 17 points was critical, right? So it's good to finally see them make something happen. Even though it is on the last day, we still got 4 matches left to go. It's a great start.
What's particularly impressive is holding Alpha 7 in that compound to then swing around the north side, hit the east, be able to clean that up, eliminating threats. They're a very opportunistic team, and I think that was really exemplified in that game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they had all the sight lines on everything, holding that edge of Everest, and then they saw that fight happening down there with KRX. They go down, take it, get those eliminations, and still hop on back, like you mentioned, to be able to take out Alpha 7 and clutch it up. Very nice.
One of the teams, of course, they did kind of clean up on that east side. AG.AL, who, of course, is in the running for championship points, in the running to try and get themselves a strong, solidified position in that top 6 as well. What did you think of them?
AG.AL needs top 6. They need to see this team make it to the finals. It was so brutal watching it at the last second. XCZ with the DBS. I thought he had it, but wasn't able to get the finish, but still 11 eliminations. So they ended up getting 15 points based on that.
This is top 6 final में
But
जाएंगे.
at the end of the day, this is still a close one.
I like their pandas. Do you think they've got
6
the blessing
टीमें
of
यहाँ से
the panda?
final
The Pandas
जाएंगे.
are looking out to the audience right now. They're looking into the distance. They can see the future. And you know what? The future is bright for AG.AL.
All right, well, the Pandas are going to be staring down the casters here to get things rolling. So let's get another game going here for PMWC.
All right, looking like a little magician with the flourish there. Emphasis on the little. He's a short man. Thank you very much down on the stage. You have to get your
small man with a big voice.
Yeah. I'm quite tall. I don't know what you're talking about. Please. Leave me alone. Oh, dear. That was my imitation of a couple of our other teams, certainly in Rondo over in Tanchik.
Please, leave me alone. I don't want to fight. I want like some placements, please.
Yeah, just
If possible.
let me live. Let me live, please.
Yeah.
Go team were like,
No. FURIA don't look too happy. The body language is looking a little bit rough. We got Yangon Galactica stats here. Sub 1,000 damage average per game. I mean, it's not like they're doing nothing. I think Yangon Galacticos have been putting up a good fight. Again, for sort of an unknown from last year to a very well known. I don't think they're doing terribly right now at PMWC whatsoever, but they would like to get to the finals at least. They got to get on the bike now, though.
absolutely. Definitely something you need to try and step up towards. We said it would be a little bit of a shame if the defending champions weren't there in the finals, but if you're not good enough, doesn't matter what you've done before, you need to do it now. You need to get stuck in. And we're going over Erangel, the plane path. Heavy south lean on it again, blank from that Sosnovka military base over towards the Popka. It is pretty nasty, isolating positions up on the northwest. I feel like the team I'm thinking about there, Alpha 7. Over in
third map and not third day.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think Alpha 7 should have a secondary here. Let's see exactly which one it is. Maybe eastern side potentially. Very long time ago they used to do that though.
Sare points balance mein, sare balance.
But yeah, FURIA definitely a team that's at risk right now. They're on 57 points. I know they can do more. They know they can do more. Like I said, the body language looks a little bit rough at the moment. See a bit more energy. They might need a bit of a pep talk between match 3 and match 4. One of the teams jumping out nice and early here. Go dropping in towards Sosnovka. Hard to get towards the north side of the map. There might actually be some, not hot drops, but some contested locations for vehicles, etc.
I feel like there's a little grouping of players there around where the Wolves are. GK are underneath that. The northern point of RRQ could potentially be a danger zone, and everybody out just northwest of Milta over towards the mansion shelter prison sort of area. There is a lot of players dropping out there, and I don't think there's that many vehicles, Blank.
देखो अभी टॉप पे अच्छी टीम है, पांचवें तक अच्छी टीम है। मैं चाहता हूँ यही टीमें आ जाए फाइनल्स में, लेकिन एक टीम का मुझे अफसोस हो रहा है, वोल्फ का मुझे अफसोस हो रहा है, वो नहीं आ रही है, वोल्फ नहीं आ रही यार, उसका मुझे अफसोस हो रहा है, honestly. Rockstar welcome, वालेकुम सलाम.
Playing when the plane has to drop you off. So yeah, fine, just fine stuff. For Ulf, I'm going to say now, if they want to be in the top 6, we need like a second place or a high elim game, top 3, or a chicken dinner. If not, it's going to be a very hard end of the day. They're currently 14th place. You know it's bad when Keyroom DRX is actually catching up to you. That's a problem. They've had a really rough time of it.
Yeah, they are currently 17 points behind that bubble in 6th place. So there is a real gap for them to close. But Ulf could do it. They definitely could. I mean, they're slap bang in the center of this circle. They've got a lot of time to play around with. Hopefully they can find something here. As you said, it's what they would need.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
It's actually very kind.
यार ये राउंड मैं बोलूं कौन लेके जाएगा?
Probably going to be comical again, where teams are going in and out from that top 6 over and over again. So we finally settle on the chosen. Yeah, it's getting very, very tight knit.
ULF लेके जाएगा. ULF लेके जाएगा. देख लो. ये राउंड ULF देख लो, हाँ देख लो. मैं चाहता हूँ यही टीम टॉप पे आए. मैं चाहता हूँ हमारी टर्किश टीम है ये. मैं चाहता हूँ आ जाए ऊपर.
Make sure you also pick up the Naruto.
दुआ करो यार इनको चांस मिले यार. बहुत अच्छी टीम है, बहुत अच्छी टीम है.
Teasers for a while there, but finally we got it on board.
Looks pretty.
But it does look pretty. It also has an alternate version as well. We're gonna show me the spin. Show me the spin. No spin.
No spin. Spinless.
और
you got to get it in game.
गिकी भी अपने सऊदी अरबिया का टीम है by the way. गिकी.
You win some, you lose some.
गिकी भी आ जाए. गिकी भी अच्छी टीम है.
But you can certainly win some lovely skins from the current Naruto event because it is fantastic. I think it is specifically Shippuden as well.
I'm sure that means something. I'll have to get
Black Booster music.
I'll have to get Maxman on that.
नहीं 16 तारीख को मेरे भाई.
Generally, the things you say tend to have meaning. So
let's go.
A bit of a doubt there.
Yeah, it's a huge event.
यार मैं चाहता हूँ सिर्फ तगड़े fight हो.
It's a huge thing in game, just like Tsunade. It's fantastic. I'm really happy to see it. And again, I really am glad we're getting more and more of these skins in game.
You guys couldn't see it, but he literally bounced when he
did.
Yeah,
I was so glad.
JJK, we've had everything.
वो भी सऊदी अरबिया के, दो सऊदी अरबिया की टीम है.
Big up to the PUBG Mobile team.
Oh yeah.
Please continue.
Big fan of that one. E-Arena on a wide 2-2 split right now. Well, fairly wide, I think it's safe to say, from Severny and South Shore. Very much uncontested.
की बात कर रहे हो ना?
There's really no one breaking out that wide with the plane path being so far southwest early on. Southeast early on. Nobody's contesting, so they'll be able to push back fairly easily, you'd imagine. The question is direction. Do they regroup over towards Severny or to the west side by Georgopol? As Ulf mount up as well. And as we said before, they need to light a bit of a firecracker underneath themselves.
That they do, John. Right now, it is a bit of a struggle bus for Ulf. They're going to get a move on, but they are fairly central already. 721GS, realistically the only team that is in front of them at the moment. Nongshim Red Force down towards that south side. It is very tight on that grouping. 49 points in 9th. I mean, honestly, even all the way down to 12th place with Yangon Galacticos on 45, it is not a major jump of 12 points to get over towards 5th place. And then it's 10 points to jump over to tie with 6th. This is all over the place right now. A lot of teams want to stay in. For AG.AL, they have had a good day so far. I think if they want to solidify a little bit, have one more strong game here, and then the rest of your day feels a little bit more comfortable. Tiamba, I think it's looking more and more unlikely that they will drop out. I think they'd like 8 more points roughly to get towards that 90-point area, and then they'll be in much better stead. And it, again, I am talking sort of very big unlikelies right now that Tiamba drops out. But they have been a little bit slow today. I think they started at 75 points, and over the last 2 matches, they've been able to garner 7.
Yeah, not being as much as they would need, and what we are also looking at now is confirmation games from 2nd to 4th, right? If you get Alpha 7, Goat Team or E-Arena with a good game, they jump up over that 80-point boundary. All of a sudden, they're also going to be an untouchable target, which just shrinks down the number of teams that can start to play in that flux zone in the middle of those tables. So that is also what we're going to be looking out for those top teams to push themselves over that.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you.
As you said, a little bit
Star Editor, hello bro, welcome.
To their old tricks, I think.
Chalo guys, game pe focus rakho, game pe
a little bit
focus
timid. There has been some sticky scenarios.
RRQ kisko maar rahe hain? RRQ.
Still, yeah, we want to see a little bit more.
Yeah, they learned a new trick yesterday. They've forgotten it already. Like when you try and replicate
Gaadi ko
those
damage
tricks you learned
kar raha
when you were like 14 and it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And then everyone looks at you and laughs.
Chalo bhai, gaadi
I
dikhao.
forgot my cards. And you're in the middle of the trick and you're like, wait a minute, I forgot.
Oh my yes!
Oh, I mean, that's a really bad start to any kind of card trick.
Oh wait.
Okay, my yes.
Just imagine
yes.
it. Pretend we're doing it.
Pick a card in your mind.
Now
Increase
pretend you've
camera
got the extra space.
frame.
Was that your card? Yeah, we're heading over towards Dip right now. Mini Dip. Furia taking up location there. We're still waiting for Zone 2 to pop around. And slightly slower game so far here, just with the fact that we've had 2 games so far where the circles have not been egregious. This plane path was pretty bad. It was pretty bad for getting everyone across the map, but the circle was very kind on the direction that it went. It does mean that we pack a lot of teams in very early towards the center because they were so close to rotate. E-Arena was one of the few teams that actually sent very wide earlier on to get themselves into position, and actually could play off the back of Rozhok on this one. They could even go further over towards the eastern side if they'd like, play off the bridge side. But man, there's a lot of teams on the south side right now that do need to move further towards the north. So there's going to be a lot of traffic jams going on, a lot of honking of the horns to try and get on through. Tiamba has a free approach though, free cut up towards that north side of the map.
Big access. Ulf as well were fairly proximate to the apartment buildings near school, so they should be able to take control maybe of some of the hills to the south, generally a fairly solid position, or maybe even sending into those apartment blocks themselves as well. Furia may be content to just sit here for a little moment longer. They are kind of fine in this zone. They're probably happy to watch AG.AL and 721GS get into a little tussle off in the distance as we hop on board with that.
AG.AL losing 2 players, 3 in fact, in quick succession. Liu there, the only player able to clap back, and it's looking very bad right now for AG.AL. They are trying to maintain presence. The players are starting to surround them. They've had 2 good games back to back, and I think for Liu it might be just the situation of leaving, regrouping here with Flower H and playing on as 2 going forward. What a nasty turnaround there, getting stuck in a fight with 721GS, who are in 15th place. When you're on that 6th place bubble right now, playing as 2 is far from favorable. When you may have been able to control such an important central position. Goodness me, what a way to lose that sort of spot. Now Furia are close by. Tiamba, Ulf, all will have heard this fight unfold. And they'll be aware of what they could be able to achieve. They'll have counted the player numbers going down. They'll know AG.AL are starting to flag. Great news for teams like GK.
for Nongshim Red Force and RRQ to look to push past them as well.
Yeah, Nongshim Red Force looking a little bit better here, moving over towards that northern side.
India ki do team hai meri jaan.
This one. Both played over towards apartments, but not quite, actually. They have one player inside on the south side. That's Aaron.
Yeah.
They're trying to secure location outside. They don't want to fully commit to apartments just yet. We get this nice replay. It just was absolutely hectic. Luckily, Liu here is able to get some good damage off, try and salvage the situation, but he knows better than anyone that it is better to try and get himself a top 6 at least as a 2-man than trying to just live out through there. I think there's been plenty of times where AG.AL has made this mistake, where they are so adamant on getting
Pakistan ka ek hi team hai,
I want to see more of this from AG.AL. They're just playing on as 2, just trying to see what you can salvage from the match.
Really, Chinese, yeah.
Those single-digit point games often
something
are
like
pretty
that.
make or break. I mean, we do focus a lot on the big point-scoring games.
Oh.
But if you're able, and I've said this so many times, if you're able across all 12 of these matches to get 1 point more per match, you're getting 12 extra points. It is such a significant difference to be able to play those small ball situations and get some profit out of it, because 12 points could be a difference maker in a massive way.
Okay, so it looks like actually PEL is coming to play here over towards this eastern side. Both Chinese teams,
DRX जो है ना,
instantaneously sent
बहुत खतरनाक टीम है, लेकिन देखते हैं अभी क्या होता है.
A lot of teams likely haven't decided on fully committing towards this location. For Tiamba, this is more of a gamble. For AG.AL, it's a necessity, right? They have to send here and find a location.
Yeah, Aurora
going to be willing to sweep through, because there are so many other squads in this area and likely will be towards the end game, taking shots at one another. This is an area that AG.AL can potentially secure a high placement off the back of. Maybe not a high eliminations, they may be able to steal a couple of elims here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was a good maneuver from AG.AL, because even Ulf hadn't decided whether they wanted to fully play over towards apartments just yet.
The arena over in the school as well. Looking to post out on the top there, try and keep control over the surrounding fields, the open areas. North side, you've got AlUla and Alpha 7, who are opposing ends of Rozhok.
यार ये जो है ना यंगन
trying to take a turn around the town.
यार बहुत अच्छी टीम है ये,
behind them,
लेकिन इनका लक ही नहीं है.
The east side of Pachinki, as well as Wolves up to the north. It's fairly packed in here.
Star editor, okay bro,
thank you. Crash into a fight.
Brother.
Maybe they could find an outpost from AlUla, and that could be a really good opener here. They're able to find R3B all on his own.
This is multiple times so far that Yangon Galacticos and AlUla have found themselves very close to one another on the map.
Alpha 7 is also playing well. Alpha 7 to bhai dekho top 2 pe. Oh Wolfie DRX. Wolfie DRX.
Baton doing some very good work here, in fact.
Kya team hai DRX ki yaar.
KRX getting absolutely decimated in the face of the Wolves.
DRX बिल्कुल थकी हुई है. मालूम नहीं क्या सीन है इनका.
I think RRQ now down to a solo over in the apartments.
ये भी नहीं हो रहा इनसे.
Darts across the fields to the south of school. Not going to work out. As you were highlighting there as well, QM DRX tried to crash past the Wolves and there was no quarter given. 3 of them taken. Meantime, Goat and Nongshim on the north side of Potato Hill. See the nade starting to fly, but XZY into the hovercraft to keep himself safe. Some nice cover there. Moxie with
fight hoga, God ka ho raha hai.
XZY as well.
NH ka aur God ka hoga fight.
Protect himself nicely from it. A lot of cover.
चलो भाई निकल गया पत्ती के.
Goat team able to extract anything so far.
We'll just go for the lob there for Ulf. This is looking like that game, and they are hella happy that they maintain control down towards that southern side. And
Alpha, ये arena ने पहले
there's definitely a risk where they couldn't fully control apartments and more teams poured in, but this means now
पहले दिन में आज तक किए तो ये arena
really like this from Ulf, again just trying to confirm as much area as possible because they know they need a good game and they need one soon. This is their biggest chance though, so far. We want to see a strong match coming out from Ulf. right now, my worry is that the player who is topping the charts a lot of times, or doing majority of the work, is Scarface.
Okay, Star Editor, okay, brother.
From first-hand experience, the catch and error
Ilyas Gul,
times are the Pistons that are doing the heavy lifting for this squad. So Scarface is definitely pulling up the slack a lot, but he wants to be the player that's enabling both those teammates to really do their best work. So again, let's see if they can get some more confidence on board inside this game, John.
I'm hoping as well that they won't be too timid in this center position, right? They would love a chicken dinner.
Access.
But a good Elim chicken dinner is what is necessary. It's quite easy potentially to just sit back, get a little bit shy, and not get stuck in. Sure, the apartments fights, you don't really need to be peeking out too much.
Yaar, spam mat karo, yaar. Mat karo na. Star Editor, na karo. Last warning hai aapko.
Maybe getting stuck
Warna
in,
time out
scouting those
milega.
fights and trying to find angles.
Arena from school side, still taking shots over towards AlUla. Yangon Galacticos took a little bit of damage. They lost one player in Marnet, but were able to
fight hoga mere
carry
khayal
on.
se.
AlUla, however, taking many casualties. You can see Ulf on the other side. Really quite like to get rid of AlUla. They are definitely invading a little bit here over towards their location. 200 bullets total on the 5.56 here. And a PP buys on the Scarface. So some strange.
यार मैं चाहता हूँ ये Scarface लोग
across the board. They did get gifted a
Wolf
loot
वाले
crate though.
chicken करे.
Alpha 7 losing Revel on their rotation.
Seriously, मैं चाहता हूँ ये team final में आ जाए.
On the top of the hill here, further south, they did move in from that north side, so losing one on this approach, not the worst thing in the world. Could have certainly gone much more poorly for them. But now they're going to have to face off against Dopeness pushing in. The south side getting crunched towards as well as Goat look to re-engage potentially over towards Nongshim Red Force. The apartment's resolving in the meantime across the circle, but this Goat and Nongshim standoff has been going on for a while, Blank.
Yes, it has. I mean, Nongshim's just been giving space after space after space, which I think is fair enough. They're just leading Goat further down this side, waiting for them to silhouette over. Goat knows what's happening here, but it is making it awkward for them to play out of Potato Hill. But I like the patience on side from Nongshim Red Force. I know there really isn't anyone around right now that cause them too many problems, so they can just...
यार ये लाजम fight लगे गोद इसके साथ है इस वालों के साथ.
Alpha 7 is on the move. Ulf still very pleased with that position.
No need, welcome, Habibi, welcome.
Alpha 7
awesome
may send over, but it's Dopeness who is fully on the rotate here. You can see from the eastern side, Ulf may have visitors.
The south side needs to conclude as well. Dopeness getting straight into the middle here. I don't think this is a safe place to be right now, but somehow they're sneaking through the sight lines and nobody's taking shots. How on earth did Dopeness manage to do that? And where are they going? Are they trying to third-party this fight with Nongshim Red Force and Goat Team? How on earth do they rock up to this fight?
Where?
What is going to happen here?
Where?
Nongshim Red Force caught unawares, and rightly so, because this is absolutely mental. Lufa goes down, and Nongshim Red Force trying to hold face, but they just appeared out of nowhere.
I understand it. I understand it. We'll go over it later. Wolves immediately walk up to the plate as well, understanding that there is blood in the water. This is a position where they can get some more points off the board, but Dopeness...
गोट वालों ने push क्यों नहीं किया?
This one, FURIA quickly moving across as well, trying to bolster the position on that western side. They have a peek in. They realize that, goodness me, this has all gone wrong. It's topsy-turvy on the other side of the map right now. But for Dopeness, it's not the...
Wolfie push कर रहे, Wolfie वाले push कर रहे.
I mean, what they do is they just try and rotate across. They have no information, okay? I'll be honest, they have no information, and they just try and make something work inside of the back of some kind of rotate. It's a massive gamble from them, which obviously doesn't pay off. I just haven't seen as outrageous as that before.
I mean,
Wolfie,
all in a position to look to take shots at them.
Thank you, Habibi.
With big HP bars as well, Blank, is insane to me. And for Nongshim Red Force to go down there, I feel sorry for them. Because
it was an outrageous play, right?
Yeah.
I know why they did it. It doesn't make it any less outrageous.
The Wolves are now on 8 elims though for it.
Geeky Yangon gets out.
Yangon Galacticos, who are starting to falter in the face of the damage pouring out. Tenacious today, Blank. I think that they are potentially onto a win on this fight as well if they can get rid of Cloud.
Bye-bye.
To the north.
Bye-bye.
Back out to the north, and they're facing off against the route out of apartments for Tiamba.
Tiamba able to clear out over towards AG.AL earlier. Doing a really good job, honestly.
Wolf वाले लेके जाएंगे, Wolf वाले लेके जाएंगे.
Pretty sure they figured out that
Yeah, chicken
only
wolf
had
का
the
देख
two
लो.
players. Tiamba figured out AG.AL only had the 2 players there, and were just quick to send over.
लेकिन Tiamba and E-Arena बिल्कुल दोनों perfect जगह पे हैं, दोनों perfect जगह पे.
Difficult game there for Alpha 7 as well, because it was an insane shot as well. I'm sad we didn't see it, but it came through from Flower H inside of apartments as Revo was rotating. Like, I actually genuinely feel bad for Revo. I'd be upset if I got hit by that one.
Habibi, Dubai, welcome.
But they're just going to play it slow from the eastern side. They know at this point they have done quite a good job today. They just want to keep the point scoring up. They know they're not in the best
Oh, hello, Wolf! Oh my yes!
Continue to take damage here, and Ulf's position becomes more and more secure. Fairly disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. That slope down towards school and apartments, a major feature on that north side. Ulf potentially pretty happy, but they're going to have to face the brunt of FURIA, Wolves, and probably Alpha 7 here on the eastern side. They're just going to have to hope that these teams face off against each other first and try and take the fight on that front.
Yeah,
the Wolves losing one is good news, but in their stead, GK step up as they rotate on the wrap south.
GK started out strong yesterday, still maintained a fairly decent point scoring. And another team that absolutely has it in them to make it work. Likely will, after this game, leapfrog over the top of AG.AL. And Wolves have a potential to leapfrog even further.
Some big teams in the top 6 going down early. GOAT and AG.AL.
Really?
GOAT on 66.
Really?
Probably okay to stay in the top 6 after this one, Blank, but a real stuff on the south side.
Geeky with the
rolling out fast though from school. They're trying to send on Geeky, but it's not going well. How much more left in the tank? Here is another one.
What's up, Geeky? क्या कर रही है?
Are cut down to size. They will fall in their entirety, and Geeky once again prove their mettle.
To be fair, watch that happen to them though.
ये अरीना को वाइप कर दिया GK ने भाई साहब.
Finding shots over towards the south side. Aaron picking up some good shots there. Tiamba once again hits a shot over towards Alpha 7, leaving one low, and Khalil will finish that off. So right now, fortunately for Alpha 7, they have been sort of decimated by in tandem.
दोनों सऊदीया की टीम
out from that eastern side. Tiamba still looking to grab the remnants of players coming out from apartments. They control this area beautifully, perfectly. And for Tiamba, this likely secures their top 6 going forward.
Again, it's Ulf. They are being quiet. I said I wanted to see a little bit more flex out coming through from these guys. They are holding their position. They're holding it well. And maybe given the shape of the circle, they did need to stay in, but they are now only on 2 eliminations, and they are starting to be dragged away by the rest of the rosters here. Wolves, Ulf, trying to trade off against the fights towards FURIA. That's where they start to gain momentum. Okay, 3
What? Tiamba versus Wolf.
Tiamba starting to step forwards. Let's get you up towards those.
Tiamba versus Wolf. Oh my God!
At the moment, they are struggling to step up to take the shots over towards Tiamba, because AlUla keeps taking some fantastic shots from upside the hill.
Wolf versus Tiamba.
Ulf's doing a good job of maintaining control here. RQ moving in. A-King looking to get his point with the safety of the building. Pulls the pin, the grenade might have been good there, but puts the pin back in again. And then hits the sound cue. Aaron goes down towards a Molotov. That's bad news for Ulf.
And you can't be banking an aid like that. That's not going to go in through the window. I feel like there's some panic setting in here for Enkin. Yeah, I don't see him making it out of this one. In the meantime, over in the zone, FURIA and Tiamba now forced to fight off against one another. A knock over towards Chief, but it's traded onto Milu. And a nade does manage to shut down the final player from RRQ in the meantime. Tiamba do not have the pressure to move forwards. They were stuck in that engagement. But Milu potential to get back up here.
Oh my yes!
How fast Tiamba moved.
Scarface!
Starting to step over the
Oh my yes!
Take that tumble on.
Wallahi Wolf kill hai. मैंने क्या बोला?
To make that move.
मैंने क्या बोला?
Pretty much blown away with the likes of Wolves, and Wolves continue to step forward. Wolves who've had such a rough time of it this tournament.
Bhaijan!
Here.
ULF!
Most of the times we've seen that happen, there has been much more team play at work at the moment. Yeah, they are a little bit slow at times, but at least they're getting the aggression again. And when they go for these small parties, they go for it together. That's what's been so nice to see. That disconnect between the players isn't there as much. Feels like they're not getting in their heads as much. This is really good stuff. Tiamba finally shut down here, but hit the 19-point mark, and they should be safe going forward.
A top 6 fairly guaranteed for them. Last person alive for FURIA. AlUla crawling his way forwards.
FURIA का एक बंदा है ये
Step forward, step
मेरे ख्याल से
and manages to dart to cover, but he's not safe.
कैंसर की
Still
कर
has
रहा
a
है
further distance to go. A nade over the top. Looking to launch it towards Ulf. Do they spot it? Do they dodge it? Looks good. It splits the difference. Doesn't quite do enough damage to really worry Ulf at all. And AlUla's position definitely known now. One nade on site for Solus. And Ulf are starting to feel the pressure of the blue zone.
Yeah, good split from Wolves as well. With the fights they took, they were fairly certain that both the north and the southern edge on the western side are free. So they're ensuring both the high ground and the low ground aren't getting pushed on right now.
यार मुझे क्यों ऐसे लग रहा है कैंसिल करेगा? कैंसर देगा उनको.
On the eastern side.
वालेकुम सलाम editor 9.
Wants to clean up as fast as they can. AlUla is a problem in the future.
AlUla
is a problem right now.
There's a Molotov and a second one to follow it up. AlUla being corralled. AlUla wants to step in and try and take some shots out this way. Catches up to the ridge line. They should be able to spot him now. They know where that one came from.
Shots.
Follow the flame. Shuts it out now. Can Ulf
AlUla! Wolfie!
And AlUla
Wolf!
the threat from Wolves as well.
Wolf versus 2 versus 3. Let's do!
Right now.
Let's do!
Some nades still available.
Oh, Porte! Nice nade! Scarface! Ui! Slammy कर रहा है! Slammy कर रहा है! ला! ला! नहीं! नहीं! नहीं! नहीं! नहीं! नहीं! नहीं! नहीं! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Nade! Nade! Nade!
Regrouped. Scarface has one grenade. It has to be huge. Over towards Batten. Looks on target. Doesn't hit though.
Doesn't quite get around the trunk of the tree, but Ulf step into the zone. Catches flexing back out. Looking to get some information.
अबे वो split होके खेल रहा है. Wolfie वाले split होके खेल रहे हैं. इनको मालूम है? हाँ हाँ हाँ मेरे ख्याल से इनको मालूम हो गया.
The armor on side for Ulf. It is not looking pretty. A 3 versus 4. And we said we wanted to see a chicken
दो करके खेले. बैठ के दिमाग चेक करो उनका दिमाग.
If they can take all 4 down.
दिमाग चेक करो. दो करके गेम खेल रहे हैं. वाह यार.
22 points on the match. It would be the game that they were looking for, but they may have already found it even with this second place to put them back in the running.
It is curious right now.
कौन ले जाएगा? Wolfie या Wolf? जल्दी बताओ. Chat में बताओ. Wolfie या Wolf? जल्दी बताओ. जल्दी जल्दी. जल्दी सारे टाइप करो. LUF या फिर Wolfie? जल्दी बताओ. सारे टाइप करो. सारे टाइप करो. सारे टाइप करो.
A little bit of hard cover here, if needs be, but you are giving 3v2s right now.
Potential to isolate those sight lines. But the smokes are starting to run.
दोनों टीम जोन में. दोनों टीम जोन में.
For Wolves are terrifying. With 11 eliminations already. They want to go up to 14. Ulf.
यार वाला दोनों खतरनाक टीम है. मेरे नजर में दोनों खतरनाक टीम है. लेकिन मैं चाहता हूँ
cheeky spot actually, very cheeky spot to work with. Nade goes forward, has to be good here. This has to be.
Whoa!
Sent long and wide.
What? Okay.
The 3 versus 2s are coming through.
Oh, Musa!
He has to.
ये क्या हुआ?
That's an angle taking off. He has to go. That's an angle taking.
यार कट रहा क्यों है नेट? ये क्यों कट रहा है? हेलो?
He has to go 3 versus 2s. The peak probably won't come through here. Solus keeps them backed off. Make sure that they have to keep focus on that res underneath. Elementary, a lot of damage. And Wolves, I just think the regroup has to so he's literally taking the soul out of Wolves right now.
They go down, go the Wolves, and claim the chicken dinner.
मैंने क्या बोला जैसे जहाज में बैठे कि वूल
bottom of the barrel scraped
वूल चिकन डिनर करेगी बोला था नहीं बोला था
It's not elation on their faces.
Wolf भी अच्छी टीम है लेकिन
the first step of many
GG's
towards the top 6 right now, but it's a good game. It's a strong game. They play it out well with limited resources.
ये दोनों बड़े खतरनाक प्लेयर हैं दोनों.
They pull out what felt very difficult towards the end of that game.
GG's guys, GG's.
It's just sort of a confusing approach. I understood at the start, but as soon as you have information,
yeah, bro, amazing fight, amazing.
They have this slight plateau. Why are we smoking ourselves up on the south side? Why are we denying sightlines? Why are we essentially playing as two separate two-man teams? Very odd, very, very odd.
Awesome,
I mean, getting into nade range was the mistake in the end that cost them dearly. And they just did not have the crossfires established for themselves. The Wolves felt good for so much of that game.
They really did.
And then they just stopped playing as soon as Circle 8 hit.
And there was plenty of time. There was actually plenty of time. If you watch this back, there's plenty of time for the Wolves to set up closer towards the center zone. And if you take that two-man, they could have at least grabbed over towards some trees, set themselves up so they weren't open to the angles. A strange game from Wolves. I will say that Ulf definitely had a slight advantage there because they still had the Shack in play. To continue to reset off the back of. Definitely curious. I mean, there's a lot more time in that game for Wolves to make further decisions, make further pushes. As AlUla goes down, I think you have to be scrambling the third party. That was your big chance there. And still a bit mad props to Ulf. They knew they had to finish that fight with AlUla instantaneously if they wanted a chance versus Wolf in the future.
I mean,
यार इनको फाइनल आना है मैं चाहता हूँ ये टीम आए ये टीम में मजा आएगा फाइनल में मजा आएगा
knock downhill was what clinched it for them because that kept those sightlines tight in.
Mr. Jojo Habibi says welcome.
You take all the guns away from him at that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was an incredible
I hope so. Top 6 में इनको आना है.
Honestly, if you are on the south side there, you have to play super passive, basically tiny.
यार वो बता रहा है ना 14, 15, 16 को.
But not playing with your life. That's the problem they ran into. As soon as they could get Batten back up again, because he had time to walk over towards crawl over towards the tree to get rezzed again. But you're right. As soon as all the guns were laid bare, it was just a very easy game from Wolf there on forwards.
यार सेट बता दो ना मैचेस कब है फाइनल के सेट टाइप करके बता दो.
The zone has been closing quite a lot here. I feel like teams are really
Jojo Habibi,
dragging it down to the wire, but we still have 3 more matches to play. We finished the first half of today. One more Erangel is up on the cards. Don't go anywhere.
गाना सुना रहा है हमें. मजे का मैच था ऑनेस्टली. हेरते बाज आजा. हाँ मैजिक युल्फ ना दूंगा भी एक कान के नीचे. Mahar Kamal, thank you, Habibi. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Shukran, shukran. Mr. Jojo 727, thank you. अल्फा ने बता रहा, वो देखो अल्फा ने लिखा हुआ है 14, 15, 16 को है पाकिस्तान का 40 का मैचेस. नेपाल की भी टीम है, इंडिया की 2 टीमें, पूरा उसने लिस्ट आपको दे दिया. बस खत्म यार. Oh my yes! यार ये इनके साथ रूम खेलना है मुझे.
Competing. We have
1v2 खेलना है रूम यार. ID ले.
And Gentlemates.
ID लेके उनके साथ 1v2 रूम खेलना है मुझे. इनका ID मिलेगा कहाँ से मिलेगा यार?
Okay. From MENA side of things, however, we're also looking
1v2
at Twisted Minds
and
Falcons, of course.
इनके साथ खेलना है.
Twisted Minds over the
ID लाओ ID.
But hopefully, they can do it this time around. Falcons got another strong roster. But what is the
किसी
kicker
को ID मालूम है?
KC and Gentlemates?
Okay.
Because
Hi,
as
Habibi.
much as their rosters are very strong, they
PMGO
need
hi,
one
Habibi.
more top 8 finish to even qualify for the Club Championship points.
Okay, so
Ooh la
potential
la.
big moments for those two squads, but also some of our leaderboard leaders potentially getting
yes.
some more points. Of course, we're going to have to see how all of it plays out. And when we have some more answers, we'll check back in with you.
देख दोस्ती नहीं करना खाली
Players are taking on a
1v2
brand
करना
new
है.
challenge, Drop Hunt. Each team will be split into 2 pairs, with each pair receiving their own map. 5
क्या है ये?
locations are marked on the map and hidden
Oh.
in the player lounge area.
Oh.
Each location is a mystery envelope.
Oh.
The mission is simple. Find them, grab them, and bring them back. But there's a catch. There are only 5 envelopes, and each one is worth 20 points. The team that collects the most envelopes wins Drop Hunt.
Oh.
Ready, set,
Let's go! Hunt. एक मिला.
Di daerah sini. Kayak mana cara dapat amplopnya anjing? Kita enggak tahu cara bilangin mereka.
अबे ये रहा.
Ini kah? Mana sih amplopnya? Pernah diambil harus. Lihat mana? Di sini. Viewing di situ, viewing view. Viewing ini nggak sih? Mau kita serang aja kita. Iya, serangin aja mereka, ayo. Woi, Pet! Sini, Pet! Kau mati juga kan jahat? Ini, Pet! Ambil, Pet! Lari, Pet! Lari, Pet! Jam!
क्या है ये? क्या कर रहे हैं ये लोग?
Oh, yang ini. Mana dia? Ini, Mas. Oh, tren dia. Ambil. Gini. We have 3, they have 2. We lost. Ya. Nangis dulu jangan nangis, Yang.
We've been wondering all this time.
Oh my yes.
Team has been, and they finally end up showing up as Ulf is able to get the win. But for everybody currently watching, yeah, we're not back at the same place.
Aksa, welcome Aksa. Aksa कितना मिस कर रही हो हंटर को?
You can check out the awesome collabs that we currently have with Naruto.
एक तो मैं हंटर को टीम से बाहर किया है मैंने, और हंटर नहीं अपने YouTube के स्ट्रीम पे आता है नहीं कुछ, तो हंटर हमारे टीम से बाहर है.
It looks pretty cool.
बाकी आप अक्सा आपकी अपनी मर्जी है.
You'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about. That's Max is currently posting with Mr. Unknown, but Max, Ulf ends up showing up in that performance.
I gave up hope, to be honest. Before this game, we're like, Ulf is just not looking like the Ulf we saw earlier
Walaikum
this year,
salam.
even at the end of last year with the second place at PMGO.
Faisal bhai, I come to your house. A little. Okay.
I didn't expect them to win that fight, really. I mean,
हंटर को नहीं निकालो. नहीं. 22 points निकाले भाई साहब. 22 points. Oh my yes. PTG lalla 804 one Islam.
But they gave them so many 1v1s and even 1v2s, which Ulf was able to capitalize on so greatly. I'm not.
I don't know what to say. I'm choking up.
Choking up right now. Oh.
It's because all finally showed up. That's why he's choking up.
He's so happy.
He is, but I tell you what, the one thing I'm really happy with Ulf about off the back of that win against Wolves is they waited until the zone was actually pushing in, right? Stage 9 before making their move. They isolated a player of Wolves. They got that knock. They realized that was the weak position and then went up over the top. Because of the zone that was coming in, the guys down at the bottom of the hill couldn't really retaliate, so they were immediately put on that defense position. So Ulf actually timed that very well, but I totally agree with you, Kalaris. Wolves should have had that in the bag 110%, and they just didn't.
I gotta give some props for Wolves though, because this match was very important for this squad, and I actually want to rewind it a little bit more because the 3-1 split that they were doing earlier on, they were taking a fight with a different team, which was
12-11-6-6-4-4
behind, and he was keeping track of what was going on with GOAT. Once they finished off the fight with Nongshim, they went back and finished off GOAT in such a good just synergy from the squad.
I don't know how to feel because Ulf, I'm happy to see them do well, but Nongshim Red Force get eliminated, so I'm a little bit, torn between this game.
Oh, sit.
And what I like to see is when it was shifting around school and apartment area, it kept going to the west. Actually see, okay, got
3 मैच रहते हैं 3 मेरे ख्याल से 3 या 4.
So they secure bare minimum a second place. So yeah, Wolves good IGLing on their side.
It is good IGLing, but as you guys were saying, just that 2-2 split at the end. Honestly, it was a bit too much for them. Neptura, from this last match, I mean, we are going to be heading into the final 3 matches. Any team that you're in particular just going to be keeping a close eye on?
I got to see more from Nongshim Red Force. I know we keep saying it again and again and again, but they can't.
Yeah. अच्छी टीम है यार, बहुत अच्छी टीम है. ULF बड़ी अच्छी टीम है.
And they just are falling so short. I need to see more from them in the last 3 games. We need to see them go to finals.
मैं अपने घर से हूँ मेरी जान.
We need them to wake up.
Yeah.
That's what we need them to do. Galaris, we need them to see them being able to start those getting Neptura, quit hogging the mic. We need to see them getting those eliminations.
I think I'm concerned for a lot of the teams, not just them as well, because I think the gravitas of the situation is getting to people. I think people are playing more passive than they have before, to the point where it's actually going to cost.
यार मैं इंडिया पाकिस्तान से भी हूँ.
But then the circle shifts away from you, and you're not flexing out from that spot until it's too
Sir,
late.
very welcome, brother. DRX अच्छा टीम है. यार DRX अच्छी टीम है, लेकिन मालूम नहीं वो क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या सीन है उनका, क्या चक्कर है. I don't know. बिल्कुल गंदा गेम कर रहे हैं. You want to
There's no second chance after this. There's not another survival day. No, this is it. You have to make sure you end up in the
World Cup 2025 second place.
नहीं
वो वर्ल्ड कप नहीं था, वो PMGO
I think it's done. They just don't have that drive right now to
GO था. PMGO.
In particular, they're the first team on my mind, Kalaris. They're just out of the
ये वर्ल्ड कप है, ये डिफरेंट है.
Because I actually, when I interviewed them, they said
PMGC, sorry. PMGC, sorry. लेकिन ये वर्ल्ड कप है.
In a very high octane situation.
They have been non-existent, to be completely honest, with that squad. And we even saw it on social media too, using the hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26, where the coach took full blame of what was happening with the team yesterday. Today, I mean, is it going to be the coach again, or is it going to be the players? Because ultimately, the players are the ones making that decision within the game.
You say?
Max, I know you wanted to see something that happened in the last match, especially one that we were kind of laughing.
यार देखो, आज आखिरी दिन है. मैं कहूँ Chiamba, मैं कह रहा हूँ Chiamba,
right next to Ulfin, like that's a great position. You can see it right now on your screens. And it's like, okay, that's a good send. AG.AL will say, guys, just put down a couple
ULF,
maybe bare minimum, just to deny the vision of Ulf. But Kalaris, they went
Alpha 7.
I've told you many a time, having utility into the extreme late game will pay huge dividends.
Flurry,
having no smokes towards the end where all
God.
they throw those nades over, there's no way you're going to be able
Chata,
to
जो मुझे चाहिए,
things like that. It's just too many. You're not really
E Arena. ये 6 टीम, I hope top पे रहे. ये 6 टीम, I hope top पे रहे. मैं चाहता हूँ 6 की 6 टीम आ जाए फाइनल में. क्यों मालूम है? तगड़ा फाइनल होगा. तगड़ा, यानी फुल खतरनाक वाला फाइनल होगा.
especially going into the next 3 matches, the final matches in Ventura. Those squads that are currently in contention for that top 6, that are currently outside, need to make sure that they play flawlessly.
I mean, we know it's what, 2, 3, 5 points difference between
yes,
so
bro.
many of these teams. The gap is non-existent, and when you're looking at only 3 matches left, one more Erangel, even if you want to make it even more pressurized, right? We've only got one more Erangel before we go into Miramar.
देखो ये arena Alpha FURIA अपना गोट है Wolf देखो देखो देखो देखो जो मुझे चाहिए ULF ऊपर आ रही है और ऊपर ही आएगी वोल्फ ही अच्छी टीम है लेकिन मैं नहीं चाहता वोल्फ ही आए क्योंकि थके हुए हैं बिल्कुल थके हुए ULF आएगी देखो ULF आएगी कितने मैच रहते हैं 3 मैच रहते हैं बहुत चांस है बहुत बाकी नीचे बिल्कुल अच्छी टीम है लेकिन इनकी बस की बात नहीं है फाइनल में कुछ करना नो फ्री किल होंगे उनके साथ नहीं उनका तगड़ा है उनके साथ अगर आगे मुश्किल है उनको मारना तब क्या होगा बहुत सारे सीन्स मिलेंगे 1v4 स्लैबिंग फाइट्स मजा आएगा फाइनल्स में
and it needs to activate right now.
It's starting to look like last year's PMWC for this squad. They were able to make it into that final game as well for PMWC survival stage. Could it happen again? All we know is that we're going to be playing some Brain Rot Royale, and you should too in-game. Make sure you log into PUBG Mobile and check out that map in World of Wonder. But let's send it over to none other than Barney and Luti. What are they up to?
Ladies and gentlemen, just
3
maps remain.
3 मैच बाकी है 6 टीमें जाएंगी बाकी घर
Yeah, I'm here. Dude! Yeah. You made it! You survived! Yeah, nicely done, bro!
Hey, can I have more chicken dinner, please? Can I have more chicken dinner, please?
Yeah, I can get you more chicken dinners. We've got 3 more coming your way anyway. Can I get you anything else?
Oh, yeah, I miss the French cheese as well.
French cheese. Yeah, I'll see what I can do, man.
Look, I meet him. It's Chicky the chicken.
It's Chicky?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's disgusting, so it's mine now. It's my friend.
It's disgusting?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'll see what I can do, buddy.
No.
I'll see you later.
No, we're losing him. Cast us back to you, Chicky.
oh my god.
Save him! I'll tell you what, there's a lot of teams that need to be saved here, Jackie. What's up, everybody? How's it going? I'm Hot Jukes here with the legendary Jackie Powers. Gonna be on the mic casting these last 3 matches of the survival stage. The intensity is in the air here because after these 3 matches, 10 teams.
Sad.
It's very true, Jukes.
The name of Team Pakistan.
Obviously, he's been doing a good job.
Forthright.
But for some of these teams, it might not be the same. Although there is one thing that's going to be exciting for all of those fans at home, of course, it's Yangon Galacticus' really quite commemorative skin that they've got there in game, that ancient sharp set off the back of their win last year. But in 12 months, a lot can change, Jukes. And that's the landscape we're looking at today. That's exactly what we're looking at right here, man. This is getting so intense. And you can see Alpha 7, they got some smiles on their faces. They're feeling confident going in here to the rest of the day. I know they have tons of support for their teams. And just every single time I see Alpha 7, I could hear the drums of victory ringing in the background as we get into the final AG.AL of the survival stage. Let's get it going.
चलो भाई इसके बाद 2 मैच रहते हैं क्या बोलते हैं कौन चिकन करेगी अभी कौन चिकन करेगा बताओ सलामोना क्या बोलते हैं कौन चिकन करेगा
Stretch on over to Saznaka.
I know you are.
But look at the overall rankings here, folks. Tianba, a lock, obviously, to go into the finals of the top 6. But look,
Alpha 7?
still anybody's game.
No.
Even E-Arena in second place.
they are not safe, especially if these teams in that 8th
नहीं
place going all the
और
way down
गॉड
to
वोल्फी नहीं नहीं
14th,
नहीं
right? We can still see Yangon Galacticos in the final.
यार पाकिस्तान की टीम का नाम है साद
It's going to take a win.
फोर राइट
Yeah, they've got to come out swinging.
ठीक है
Right? It's got to
40
the point where there's only so many times we can say all these ifs.
E arena no
They'll start to wake up.
Ulf
This is the point. It literally is cutthroat territory of do or die now. You know, they were saying themselves it's way harder because you're a bit more of an unknown quantity.
AG.AL नहीं
Played the blinder.
वोल्फी नहीं
Ridiculous in how they were able to just show up and give it.
नहीं
Very different landscape this year, Jigs. Feels like competition across the board.
ULF
Way better.
थांबा तियांबा नहीं तियांबा भी नहीं
We were gonna theorize. Just get rid of it. Yeah. Don't worry about
देखो मेरी बात सुनो
Are you kidding me here, folks?
ULF on
This is the
fire
last
check
air
करो
goal. This is it. There's no more air
नहीं
goals.
देखो देखो देखो ULF को देखो क्या करेगी अभी
You can see there's a
मैं कह रहा हूँ ना उनके अंदर एक
already in this area.
एक एनर्जी आया हुआ है देख लो
Here, and this is their chance, in all honesty, because haven't talked about it a whole bunch, but I really need
ये
to
ले भाई DRX अभी से गई है
these last 2 matches. Those are going to be the ultimate.
Let's see bro let's see
games, right? So you cannot count on it being a regular game of PUBG Mobile Esports here, right? If you need
I am playing okay go play
teams go nuts, do crazy stuff, disrupt the entire lobby. So if you want to feel even
Yes, Raja.
solid to go into the finals, you got to get it done.
ठीक है देखते हैं ना एंड पे देखते हैं क्या होता है
Galacticos time, a perfect zone for them.
It is. It's ideal, right? And obviously, this is the go-to drop spot for them and go.
जो मेरी फीलिंग है मैंने बता दिया
Runs on AG.AL. Usually, with a lot of the zones we've got, you're forced off massively to long north rotate, so having to push over towards the southern.
ओके ब्रो ओके ठीक हो गया
You're already where you want to be for a finish. This is going to cut a lot of that downtime out of rotations. They can think a little bit further ahead, a bit easier. Bro, it could work out. Could be the perfect time for it. Just
डन करो आरके डन करो ठीक है
Is just where they're standing.
I guess FURIA नहीं नहीं नहीं गॉड नहीं बस आप लोग ने अपना दिया प्रेडिक्शन मैंने अपना दिया ना देखो खाली आप लोग ने अपना दिया मैंने अपना दिया देखो मेरे इधर फीलिंग है ये अपनी अपनी फीलिंग है भाई Whoa!
Is putting in the work. This is devastation for the NA team, but Elementrix driving on up with the drive-by just might have saved a squad.
Down to 2 duos then already. The battle of the wolves versus the goat. Powerhouses of the animal kingdom, bro, and they're starting to flush them as well. Goat lose 1 player hard, 4 still knocked. GK as well, smelling out blood in the water between these two sides. This is 3 points sitting right here.
अबे free kill है
अबे GK just wants to be able to get into the circle. I actually like this play. Yeah, you want to avoid that fight. Just try to get into the circle. Ragnarok wants a piece of this. Maybe he can smell an elimination. There's one right there. He's going to get secure onto Baton. Hop off the vehicle. It's a 1v1. Catches Elementrix. Ragnarok saying, nah, my own teammates, they can take off, but I'm staying.
This guy loves fighting. We've seen it so consistently, and once again there, the aggression pays off. Oh, mate, Wolves and Goat out in this one then in reality. It's out to side.
Hamza Habibi, thank you. Hamza Habibi, wallah,
It makes sense why GK did that because they had to see the elimination feed. And with all those players knocked, they knew who it was.
721 भी आ रहे 721 भी आ रहे
2 teams that they need to pass up on the leaderboards. So I understand why Ragnarok says I'll solo take the risk because if I do end up winning that fight, this is huge for our squad and it worked out perfectly for GK.
Yeah, you're right on that barrier.
Hamza Habibi,
3 points behind now, and it's Wolves that are there gatekeeping.
Whoa!
A massive upwards draft. Oh, there could be more in their timeline as well. Racing down, facing off 721 GS and Killer Joe just on the periphery inside of the compound. They're going to get themselves into a better situation to get a bit of looting done, play slightly safer off the back of what will be a big opener.
What a crazy start to this game. GK really coming out on top there. 3 eliminations.
And Wolfie के एक player रह गए.
For a second, I thought the Wolves were going to get away with
player
that.
रह गए.
But no, Ragnarok risked it.
अब ये chicken होगा.
It's little
ULF का देखो खाली game check करो.
difference, right, from going home or going into the finals. So a huge, huge play for Geeke. Cannot state it enough.
You love to see it.
Thank you, Hamza.
They're going to be very proud of the plays from Ragnarok on that one. Clean up crew maneuvers.
Hamza, यार गोल पूरा करना, गोल भी पूरा करो ना. चार पप्पियां बस, चार पप्पियां भेजो.
This is going to be a head and hands moment.
Only four पप्पियां.
You just got to kind of wrap this one
Four
out
kisses.
now. Have to play
गोल पूरा हो
really
जाएगा.
timid. Just think about a lot.
चलो गोल पूरा करो शाबाश.
You can squeeze points out of it, so it's not just a dud game.
ले.
There's Wolf
Ukraine
right there,
here.
heading towards Ferry Pier. Going to be looking for a boat here. They found the hovercraft. All right, so that's going to be huge for them to head across the wall.
देख लो, मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कौन.
Nice.
ये chicken कौन करेगी? ULF.
These other teams that may have some similar ideas. Dopeness is right there on the bridge, right next to him. But it looks like they're not even looking in this direction. So very fortunate for Ulf to get here safely. Another team that's going to make that boat take is going to be E-Arena. They're heading on over to Primorsk, trying to hunt down one of those aquatic vehicles. And as far as, I think there's a few other teams as well that need to be making this rotated here late.
Yeah, you've got to get that push down from the northern side for AlUla. Tiamba as well, still
Alpha
the top
7
dogs in the lobby right now to be top of the totem. And then a later wrap in towards the southern side as well for Alpha 7, with potentially a late passing over the bridge, depending on where this shifts for them and E-Arena. You see their POV on the screen now.
Here they come, man. 68 points on the board. Again, this is still a tight race here. FURIA driving that serpentine left and right, trying to get away from Young Galactico. Silence is forced out of his vehicle, abandoning it on the bridge for now. And that's going to be Igor right next to him. Ayala may try to put some suppressive fire here. Silence playing it pretty darn silent here. He's got the buggy, so he can actually drive underneath the railings and get out of here. But instead, he's going all the way on down. All right, so he does end up getting there nice and safe. Good rotation for FURIA. And they make it safely into military base. And you can see just how fast these teams are rotating here. And this Aaron Gelly. How important it is. They are not wasting any time.
Any indecision here could be really costly for your overall tournament lifeline. Ooh, hard crunch into the island as well, very center. Cutting out the bridge, cutting out the mainland, and forcing everyone to step over one another, Jukes.
ULF वाले नीचे खेलेंगे, देखो नीचे खेलेंगे.
Folks, that I don't
Game
think you
check
can
karo,
get more of a military circle than this final.
Oh, भाई साहब, Scarface के skills check करो, भाई साहब.
We are now at the second half of today. About to go into Miramar in these next two matches, but we're starting to see some engagements happening right in the center of the map. You can see Alpha 7 still needs to find a way into this circle. All those boats, everything is gone by now. So they're trying to figure out what to do here. And playing it patient is gonna have to be the play. They cannot afford to go out this early.
We saw the map feed there as well. One of the squad mates of E-Arena was
एक kill done हो गया. ULF का एक kill done हो गया.
Wolf end up finding the last player of the Wolves, and that is the 6th place cutoff team eliminated. But now AG.AL with Wolf. These are two teams right next to each other. It's a huge fight. Maple gets the thirst onto Aaron. The rest of Wolf forced to avoid this fight, so they make a sacrificial play, rotating on into this circle. And AG.AL find a beautiful spot in this zone.
Yeah, not the entry they wanted. Losing one player.
यार एक player गया इनका जो
weaker as well, so opportunities to try and climb the ladder in this game would have been big for a squad like Ulf. Feeding the points over to their direct as well, like you touch on there. It's going to leave a sour taste in the mouth. A few shots were dumped into the hovercraft, but it still stays alive and in play. Scarface is closest by, but effectively left on the island.
Man, this is going to come down to the last match here, folks. I can already tell. I mean, this is
Nabi Khan, welcome.
Necessary. Trying to find a cheeky play on the plane, and he gets taken out. Oh, they tried to get to the circle just a little early. Getting into it with GOAT, and that rotation cost both these teams a whole lot. They're going to have to make a play in Miramar to survive, because GK are looking strong. AG.AL have a beautiful position in the zone. And the one team in the top 6 that's not looking too hot is Alpha 7. They are still on the north side, trying to find their best way into the zone. They're eating a whole lot of blue damage here. They're going to waste quite a bit of utility. But you know what? It's better to stay alive a little bit longer than just make some crazy rotate on a bridge and get taken out early.
Anwar Ali, have many options with the way this went. That wrap down from the southern side just kind of left themselves isolated. So they'll just have to cross their fingers. They can eventually find a way in. Shift on the zone comes in as well.
This could be huge because, I mean, we can see it, they can't, but that bridge is completely open right now. And with that circle shifting in that direction, it could be a play, but it's so risky. Let's see what they do. Maybe even a, look like they're trying to do maybe even 2-2 split. Not too sure.
Seem like they're debating it, but maybe doubling back now towards the southern side where AlUla are stationed just on the exit to the bridge. FURIA are in the midst of this. Do take a few shots into AG.AL. They've gone able to actually open this one up quite nicely at least.
Tough for AG.AL. They got a little bit antsy, and they wanted a better position to zone. They get a decent one here, but they end up sacrificing XZZ in the process. A huge player for the team. FURIA ends up picking up that point, which is devastating considering that that is the 4th place team. Right now, though, the team that I'm really excited for in a zone like this is Yangon Galacticos. They have the observatory. They have all the high ground, and we've seen plenty of times in PUBG Mobile history, if that zone shifts in that direction, they could possibly walk away with a 20 elimination chicken dinner here. So this is huge on the side of Yangon.
Speculative right now, but if they put that into facts and forge a path for themselves, it'd be a huge game. That's what we're saying, right? They're the perfect drop location. The zone instantly goes their way.
Welcome back, Wally.
You're set up for success. You've just got to cash that in and make sure you get the most you can out of this game. With the other squad slightly beneath them, or slightly above them rather, there is room to climb. Arena going down to 3 players quite early, with Mormon falling inside of the blues. He was trying to swim round to get onto the island. The rest of the squad went for the wide rotate the whole way down.
Good morning, bro. Good
They're
morning.
up by the coast right now. It's KRX and Ulf that are ahead of them. Alpha 7 still not committing for the wrap over the bridge just yet, Jukes. AlUla would still be the guards that are defending that entryway if they commit to this.
Let's see what plays they're going to make here. Alpha 7 need to find a way into this circle. I'm looking at the crowd right now. I see some of the Yangon Galacticos fans, and I see a whole bunch of nail biting right now as they are really feeling this one. I see some smiles on their faces as well, because this is a perfect circle for them. We'll see where the next zone does go, though. If it ends up going a hard shift to the west side, that's going to be pretty rough. But we'll see for now. As Alpha 7 roaring into this next circle, trying to find a safe position. Their fans are excited.
Alpha 7 abhi aayi hai.
Dead silence in the arena here.
One of the few times it's been quiet from that side. Ooh. Crunch in center as well. Set up around Nonshin towards the middle. Yangon still in play from the bridge they've got here. And Alpha 7 following the roadside around with Tiamba guarding towards the top there.
Burning a whole bunch of utility. This is stage 4. The blue zone definitely starts to chunk you down here. So Alpha 7 are going to have to wrap in here pretty quickly. The north side is pretty open, so they might have a good rotation on in. They do end up holding this building for now, and it is wide open. Very, very fortunate. But now we're starting to see Yangon get put in some work. Rebel ends up catching AlUla, though. Here we go. The fight is starting to ring out. Obscure trying to save his teammate Guizal, looking for some angles here to buy his squad some time.
Got to get him back up. Shots are coming down though, and Obscure's getting peppered, mate. He can't commit to it easily. They've got limited cover here. Throws out a smoke to see if he can actually save his mate. Quick has the nade primed and dashes that one down. If it's on target, it could be lethal.
Alpha 7 is just trying to get this reset here. They don't want any more of this fight for now.
अबे revive हो गया.
Rebel does get picked up. He still has his vehicle in play, and they do end up getting the recovery. So a perfect play on the side of Alpha 7. Now they're going to start realizing that, hey, maybe one of these players is a little bit too isolated. They kind of drive up just a little bit just to kind of scare him away. But this is the perfect play for Alpha 7. All they wanted to do was get into the zone safely. They have the gun skill to make anything happen regardless of where the circle is. But to get here with all four was the challenge, and just so fortunate they're able to do so.
Yeah, that sense of safety could have been taken away very quickly. So they're going to be quite chuffed that they've been able to stay alive as a full squad at this point. Tiamba are still nearby though. In the meantime, so easy taking pot shots over towards GK, and their numbers have been dwindling rapidly. What looked like a good start coming into this one off the open we saw from Ragnarok has unraveled to only a solo player remaining alive. You've got Dopeness taking shots over to E Arena as well.
Alpha 7 chicken करेंगे देखते हैं.
Dukes, now they're down to just the duo.
Pretty crazy here that the 7th and 8th place team are so dang hurt. Could be a huge opportunity though, right? For even a squad like Nongshim, RQ, Yangon, right? The fact that so many of those cutoff teams went out early opens the door for the rest of the lobby to kick them out of one of those precious golden tickets to the finals, that top 6 slot. Here goes Alpha 7, getting a little bit closer to Tianba. That's going to be a tough fight, especially considering that Tianba are sitting pretty on the leaderboards. They are dead confident, not a single worry. Alpha 7 have everything to lose in this battle, though.
Whoa! Ooh, it's a big ego fight. You've got to pull it off if you're going to go for it. Aggressive scouting from Revo as he charges straight up towards them to get a read onto the setup. Like you say, man.
देखो सारे एक साथ नहीं आते. Split होके game खेलते.
Back it up.
Whoa!
Obscure getting peppered as well. Alpha 7, they know exactly what's at stake here, right? You know they have some of the best coaches, some of the best support on the planet. If they win this fight with Tianba, this could be enough to push them ahead and secure that final slot. But it's not enough right now. They need to win this fight. It's either that or they're going to leave the mercy of Miramar up ahead.
You got Yangon getting a look in as well towards the backside here with Tiamba, mate. They're coming over to see what they can find. Being sandwiched now. Alpha 7 are trapped between AlUla and Yangon that are backdooring their way up towards Tiamba. This is going to get messy so quickly.
It's already messy, yeah, especially considering that Obscure gets knocked at the literal worst time. Claus is putting some shots downrange, and then now, yeah, you're right, Yangon Galacticos, they heard this fight ringing out. They said, well, let's take out these squads here and now. They are lurking, though, maybe saying, all right, you know, we're here. But we haven't heard those shots in a second. We'll wait for that third party to ring out, then we'll get in the mix.
You've made them feel uncomfortable, though. Put the fear into them a little bit with the warning shots they fired out. So it's not as easy to clean up and get aggro. Ooh, attention turned. AlUla once again hitting the shots onto Alpha 7. 1-for-1 trades as the plays come through. Carrillo up close with the shotty. Switches back to the rifle, ready to let it go. Even trying to find a steal from distance with damage done onto Alpha 7. Yasser hard flashed out, quick replies back. Screams through them.
2v2.
Swinging. Gets it done. Introduces them to Big Papa Pump, but how much more punishment could he do? Steal.
And the save! Alpha 7 save for now, but Tianba looking to finish him. It's Guizhou all by himself. Gonna have to make a play, and it's not good enough. Tianba crushing the dreams of some of these squads. It's gonna leave Alpha 7 with 70. FURIA right behind him, though. 3 points so far. And
free के kill मिल गया उनको
looking to see
Tianba वालों को free के kill मिल गया वल्ला. बड़ा अच्छा fight था उनका.
As they storm through that one.
बड़ा अच्छा fight
था. Putting themselves into a good position here once again.
RRQ
respect from all the squads in the lobby. You come for the best right now, Jukes. You've got to back it up.
Yes, you do, and you can see right now you got RRQ on the other side there in 12th place with just 2 players up, trying to make something happen for their squad. Meanwhile, dead center of this circle is none other than Nongshim Red Force. Full squad, sitting pretty. When are they going to start getting active, though? They only got 1 elimination to their name. With 54 points, that's 12 behind 6th place. A good win here could put them into that play style.
AG.AL.
Right now, you're going to see KRX. They're toast. There's no way. Unless they win this game and the next 2, that's the only chance they have. But we have seen crazier things happen in the past.
Yeah, so far down the ladder, realistically, it's more what damage can they do to other teams that are trying to progress than remedy their own disaster that they've had in some of these matchups here for our survival stage. Going to be a lofty challenge. FURIA, though, still sitting pretty. They've had some great games. And once again, lining up to do more damage. Nongshim Red Force with a backline there. The Org of Yunbin hitting heavy. It will punish AlUla so far away as well. They're going to have to wrap in to grab him as the zone comes in.
That next zone does pop on up there, and you can see Nongshim, the only squad that's sitting pretty there. They have a lot of coverage. They're just sitting back, waiting for these teams to slowly creep in and then start putting some damage downrange. Meanwhile, this fight's been going on for a minute. You got Tiamba, you got Yangon Galacticos. Yangon not getting that hill, that mountainside that they so desperately wanted, and it's none other than QZZ popping some shots. Actually, it was Milo.
यार मुझे उर्दू में इसका मायने का नहीं पता. वो स्माइल एनएच के साथ 1v3.
Just a little bit too greedy. Gets finished here by Nongshim.
Ooh, Saycloud trying to make himself famous with a FAMAS, but he's so low on HP that it surely can't be done. Quick switch though, hits the headshot. Still alive, low on health, and they charge back in. Split push on the reposition, and he will buckle. Yangon out of that one.
यार ये Yangon मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही ये टीम क्या कर रही है.
Nongshim Red Force holding this little hospital right here, and now they're having to do a defense against none other than
with NS. Tiamba versus NS.
Gonna start throwing all the util they
Red
have.
Force.
Some good Molotovs here. Milu actually gonna go ahead and back up with that hovercraft. And this fight is still ringing on out. But if you're a team like KRX, who's right over there, you got to get active here. You need to start eliminating this entire lobby. Whoa. With the pump shotgun, knocks down Milu.
It's a big play. Milu has been an absolute powerhouse for Tiamba. So bringing him down could be a nice upwards draft there for Nongshim, but they've got to maintain this pace. Lots of pressure being thrown their way. The second back-to-back
3v3
crash onto this
3v4 हो गए 3v4 Tiamba versus Red Force. Oh my yes.
The peak spams over
चलो
onto
भाई
Eagle, barely gets
चलो
back
देखते
into the
कौन
building.
लेके जाएगा. No straight यार.
QZZ.
4v2
Only 18 years old, putting in work for his squad, trying to keep their dreams alive. They're in 11th place. We've seen crazier things from Nongshim Red Force. Goes back to the PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational. They won it, and they won it on the last game of the tournament. So that is one squad you could never count out.
We do have to say goodbye to our
वो fight दिखाओ ना इसको क्यों दिखा रहे हो ना वो fight दिखाओ ना.
Stuck down there in the depths.
अजीब यार.
12th place. Tiamba with 2 players left, one of them knocked for now as well towards the upper side.
हाँ ये fight दिखाओ ना ये fight दिखाओ.
To see if they can climb slightly higher up the
4v2 Tiamba versus LS.
It's a relatively easy leap if they can find some way of keeping themselves in the running. A conversation of a couple elims, a big replacement finish. Yunbin not done.
चलो भाई.
Damage for Nongshim. He's the nade knocks him.
Eagle ने knock कर दिया. Whoa!
But super fortunate for Nongshim Red Force. They take out Tianba, and they are making this happen. So many top 6. FURIA. I believe the only squad still left there.
Kambura!
Nongshim Red Force to catch up, and that is GK eliminated.
Saw the one chance, man, where he's thinking, fingers crossed, if I can somehow get 2 elims off the back of this. Would have been walking away with something nice rather than leaving with nothing on that one.
एक प्लेयर बचा है ULF का एक प्लेयर बचा है देखो एक प्लेयर बचा हुआ है
Brutal. Just 1 point shy of that 6th place position. That's where they're going to end up for now. But Nongshim Red Force are so hungry. They are looking so good in this match. This is the game to put them in the show here at the last second. Hoxie gets a knock onto Chief.
KRX पीछे वेट कर रही है kills लेने के लिए.
But if you even want the chance, you need to take out this whole lobby. You got to get crazy aggressive. You have some high ground. What is it going to take for KRX to finally wake up and get aggressive here?
The passive play just won't cut it.
Boom!
Wow. Nade back over as well. FURIA eating the shrapnel from that one, and it's an easy takedown with the follow-up from Mahan. So FURIA do lose one player, but they instantly get revenge with quick shots back onto Malik. No crime goes unpunished in this lobby right now, Jukes.
This is a poor game for FURIA. Yeah, they're in 2nd place right here. They got 8 eliminations. But they understand that we need a strong game, so strong that we don't even got to worry about Miramar. And they are doing that.
No kill
is on the line, and they are looking good. 3 players up. The zone is starting to close. They're going to have to find a way into this circle, but they are looking rock solid here.
Yeah, FURIA definitely releasing the beast, man. They want to go all the way to the finals. Huge plays that we've seen from them in the survival stage. Like you say, dude, it's fine margins between the squads beneath them. It's a game like this, AG.AL, seeing yourself rise up, getting into a better spot, leaving the other squads beneath you further down. They've just got to stick to this business, not let it slip. Painful scenes for Ulf as well. Could have been a different story on this one, Jukes, but it's just one man left, soulless, cowering behind the monster truck.
ULF का एक बंदा soulless कब से बैठा है उधर?
He's definitely going to get some placement points. We're at that. We're so close on the leaderboards that I have a strong feeling that there's any team going home by just one singular point. So Soulless staying up for his squad here could be the difference maker. Let's just see how long he can hang on. FURIA are outside of the zone. They have a vehicle there. Now they're going to hop into it, but this is going to be a death push. They have no room to move here. They're going to be going wide out in the open. And you can see Nongshim Red Force waiting for it. The whole lobby is staring at this, and the shots are ringing out. They try to sneak through the gate. It's just silence. Look like he's going to be able to get away from that. No! FURIA just couldn't make the rotate.
Pandemonium trying to get through that small gap in the fence. KRX stealing points where possible as Nongshim also have their eyes lit up on the pipeline of FURIA here. Very similar narrative for those two teams. It's just the FURIA at least have the safety net of knowing they're currently within those upper ranks, above the top 6.
Wolf को
you want to keep
position
grinding this
निकालना
one
है. Check
out.
करो.
Guarantee yourself enough points to be above that threshold.
QXCZ, there goes FURIA. So that is it. Top 6 teams all out. Huge opportunity out of all these squads here, obviously, for Nongshim Red Force. 11 eliminations. They need to win this game. 2nd place isn't it. They need that chicken dinner. Solid hopping in the vehicle, denies it. Oh, actually, I thought he was going to deny it, but Hoxie ends up getting that last shot onto him. So now it is really just up to KRX versus Nongshim Red Force. And it is none other than Nongshim that have got everything to gain here.
3rd place में आए. दिमाग देखो. 3rd place में
final head-to-head to this team. You've looked great in the first
DRX
to this point.
Yeah, NS.
Strong is the finish for
Yeah, NS. Go लेके आएगा.
QZZ with the engage, and they can follow up with this. They go in swift, spinning,
1v3.
firing off the buckshot quick, hoping that he can dome another one. As the pump action
2v4
to try and whittle down the numbers for Nongshim. It's a 2 versus 4, and Tizzy's getting hit on the top.
Tizzy gonna have to make a play. He peeks up. He goes into the open, gets the knock, but some great support play. It's up to So Easy with the S12K. Gonna have to make it happen all by himself.
1v3.
Gets a thirst. Perfect. Get every single point that you can. Huge flush right there for So Easy.
This could be big for him as well, man. If he can actually get the heal off, he's going to be in a great position to at least attempt, to the best of his abilities, to fight for this one. 1 versus 3. What have you got for us so easy? Can you live up to your name and make that a reality? His tree's going to be caught slipping, trying to get the bandages out. He's got to pull back into cover. Wants to go for the jump shot round the corner, in the crosshairs, spotted through the window, losing HP.
And he just says, no, I'm out of here. And it's KRX that wins the game all the way down in last place. End up sneaking a chicken hitter here towards the end. But Dongshin, are you kidding me? This is an exciting match for them. Sure, they don't end up getting those extra 4 placement points with that chicken dinner, but you can tell they were fighting for everything they could possibly get.
It was a great
kills, second position, very nice.
One chance, right? Well, we're looking at the teams above them, falling to the wayside early. They're getting healing.
Welcome.
That's the solution, Jukes. That's the answer.
Man, you take a look at these players' faces. You could just
the
intensity, the anxiousness in the air is at an all-time high right here. So many squads going home. I said it's not just 40 players. You got the substitutes, coaches, staff, everybody's here. None of them want to go home. It's all about making those plays right towards the end. Even FURIA, right? FURIA currently sitting in 2nd place, and you can see the passion coming from Igor right now. He wants to make sure that these guys are doing everything they possibly can to win. And let's listen in to this victory from KRX.
Shalom.
이거 우선 기어갔다.
동현아 왼쪽으로 벌려도 돼 왼쪽. 온다 동현 쪽.
왼쪽으로.
왼쪽 1평 좋다. 집안에 집안.
한대
야 과감하게 해.
못해 자원.
나이스.
Tempered celebration there. They know there's still a lot to be done, but that's a good start. Obviously, this is where you really need to keep this going with huge game after game if they want to be within that conversation.
Chalo, 2 matches
towards the upper echelons, it's only fine margins of the points, but they're so far down, Jukes. It's going to be really hard to carry this on.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them just kind of go a little crazier, a little bit more wild, right? Because that's what we need to see, right? We need to see a wild chicken there, crazy eliminations. But maybe that was the one, right? Maybe that was the one to kind of really give them a little bit of confidence. They literally need to win the next 2 with double-digit eliminations if they want any chance. Now, anything less than that ain't gonna cut it. So you still got to give it up for them, right? I mean, the South Korean team, we know what they can do. Is just they've waited till the last second. That's why we're so doubtful.
Yeah, might have come a little bit too late. But hey, a win's a win. They're still going to be proud of themselves on that one. They were taking some decent fights as well.
Yeah, you know, this is what gets so tough when you're at the survival stage towards the end. If this was in the first day, right, or something like that, we'd be like, oh, let's go, right? Like, that's how you do it, right? That's perfect gameplay, literally, for KRX. It's just they're at a stage now where it's got to get a little bit more wild. But you know what? I want to hear from Geek and Cal Aris. Let's go ahead and take it on down to the stage and hear what they got to say.
Yeah, you do, because I've got Ragnarok once again here. You know what? He gave such an amazing interview last time. We had to pull him again to talk about some of these games. So let's take a look at what we've had today, right? It does feel to us, some of the pundits, the experts, that it's been a very passive lobby from a lot of the teams here throughout the day. Does it feel like that when you guys are playing it in the lobby, or what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, to be honest, it feels like harder than the 3 days that we played before. 2 days in the group stage and 1 day here. The lobby is being very passive, like you can reach the zone 3, zone 4 with 62, 60 players. That's so fucking...
So much, Kilaris. I've got Catch here from Ulf Esports. We've got to talk a little bit about map number 3, managing to secure the chicken dinner. It's put you back into the bubble, just a few points shy of getting into the top 6. What were the comms like after you managed to secure that chicken dinner? Did a bit of self-belief come back into the team?
Üçüncü maçtaki wininiz hakkında konuşmak istiyorum birazcık. Şu anda böyle işte puanları yakın olan birkaç tane takım var, onlar arasındasınız. Arada çok küçük farklar oluyor. Oyun aldıktan sonra takımınızdaki atmosfer nasıl oldu size?
İnşallah.
Yani win almamız tabii ki bizi çok mutlu etti. Daha çok motive olduk. Çünkü bu tarz maçları elimizden çok veriyorduk. Bu maçta biraz şanssızlık oldu ama gene hani puan alabildik. Yani finale çıkmak istiyoruz. Kendimizi göstermek istiyoruz orada.
Yeah, of course this gave us a push as a team because we many times we just fall short of like winning. a map, so it was definitely a big motivation for our team. And now also we collected some points by becoming top 3. And
मेरे ख्याल से हाँ सही कह रहा है मिस्टर मेरी सही कह रहा है उससे मेरे ख्याल से कुछ F वाला वर्ड यूज किया है F वाला वर्ड यूज किया इसलिए उसको हटा दिया.
You know, a more promising run. How do you guys feel going into this last Miramar? Because it feels like what you guys are lacking at the moment are eliminations. Because you're typically, you know, quite an aggressive team. So what's going on in these next 2 games?
Top 6'nın belirlenmesine son 2 map kaldı. 2 Miramar haritası. Hem dünkü maçlarınızda da grup aşamasında da aslında Miramar'da iyi oynadığınızı görüyoruz. Sanki takımca böyle biraz puanla eksik kalıyor gibi. Yani öldürme skoru az kalıyor gibi geliyor. Nasıl bir stratejiyle giriyorsunuz bu oyunlara?
Yani biraz dengemiz bozuldu. Bunu düzeltmeye çalışıyoruz. Bu 3. maçta kendimizce düzelttiğimizi düşünüyorum. Bunu bir şekilde üstesinden gelip finale çıkıp bütün hatalarımızı fixleyip
फारूक ya क्या कह रहा है?
önümüze bakacağız.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we lost our balance somehow, but we fixed this with match 3.
ये क्या कह रहा था फारूक?
We just want to focus on these last 2 games and do our best.
Time for the last 2 games to come over onto this main stage. Ketch, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't worry, he's not injured. For those of you at home freaking out, it's not an injury, okay? We're going to go back over to the studio to break down everything we've seen so far before we go into our final 2 maps of the survival stage.
चलो आखिरी 2 मैच है.
Play is in our DNA.
आखिरी 2 मैच है यार. क्या बोलते हो यार अभी ये फुल हार्ड खेलेंगे अभी फुल हार्ड खेलेंगे अब डू और डाई वाला सीन होगा अब हटो बचो वाला सीन है हटो बचो वाला सीन होगा अब मारो या अभी पॉइंट्स अभी लाजिम इनको हटो बचो वाला सीन करना पड़ेगा टॉप 6 पे आने के लिए सारों को. अब आएगा मजा अब फुल मजा आएगा. Oh my yes. क्या बोलते हो कौन आएगा टॉप 6 में क्या बोलते हो कौन आएगा टॉप 6 में
What's going on in chess today?
Well, at the moment, we've got Magnus Carlsen taken to the stage for Team Liquid. A team very in need of points, to say the least, at the moment in the Club Championship. So a lot is relying on Magnus Carlsen right now for them. It would get them their first place. It would get them their 2 top 8s. So a lot riding on him at the moment. We've already had a few of the big organizations when it comes to the Club Championship playing. Dennis Lazovic has got through to the next round for AG.AL. And we've got Hikaru going through for Falcons as well. So it's big news across the board for all these teams. Nobody really making a breakaway just yet. It's as expected so far.
I love that though. I love that we're. I love that though. I love that we're. I love that though. I love that we're. And still lots of chess action left to play. So when we know more, we'll check back in.
Thank you, Glitter and Trap, for that Club Championship update as AG.AL is looking to make a push so they can be in the top 6 to actually go to the finals. This squad just hasn't been performing like what we saw them being able to do in the group stages, but for this last game, it has to do with none other than KRX. They finally showed up and they put themselves in a way that if they get another win, Max, they could make that push to top 6.
Not just KRX, by the way, it's South Korea for the win. Yes, first and second place with the side of Nongshim Red Force securing that building. But yeah, KRX definitely desperate to get some points on board. And actually, I was going to pick their team to win. I was like, KRX, they're probably not going to win it. But by the way, the match MVP is QXC. Big name over there in South Korea after that big roster shuffle. And you know what? It took some time. They showed promises sometimes of being consistently, but this game in particular, I feel like they took all the right steps, Nipchura, to actually get that chicken dinner. It looked a bit shaky at the end, but you know what? That was just enough to get that win.
No, I'm really glad that KRX were able to win that. They made that push across to the north side of zone that I was hoping that they would do like a lot earlier, like 2 zones earlier, but ended up not happening, and it worked out just really well for them. As you're seeing, as we look over the highlights, you know, Nongshin we saw on the match rankings there, they also got 18 points. Oh, FURIA. I feel bad for FURIA. They had nowhere to go here, Max.
One team that was able to get that second place finish though, Nongshin Red Force Lays, that squad. We usually talk about how they're not really aggressive. Guess what? All the fights were just coming to them.
Look, I actually had high hopes that, well, not high hopes, but like their positioning here and especially being able to take that rooftop from KRX. I actually thought they were going to pull out the wins. I actually thought they were going to pull out the wins. I actually thought they were going to pull out the win. KRX had a bit of a rotate in with only the trees to cover them, so it was looking really good. I also was a little bit worried for KRX because they didn't make the push on the one player that was left. Even though they win that, they get the chicken dinner, they're still a little bit afraid, and you can see it in their play style right now, but I do hope they can take the momentum to the next game.
I mean, right now, what was it? What did you say, Lace? I can't hear you over this loud crowd from Alpha 7. They're also doing a bit right now with none other than Sanskrit for the Indonesian crowd. But I know there was a clip that you wanted to see, Nimtura.
There was indeed, yeah. I just really wanted to see a little bit of a replay of KRX Hoxie, right? Because he played the anchor role to a T. Really enjoying that. Yeah, here you go. Oh, no, it wasn't Hoxie. It was QZZ here.
You told me who's behind the tree. Hoxie's behind the tree.
Hoxie's not over. Oh, yeah, he's over there. So QZZ is going to be over here. That's who I was really talking about. Because look, Benny and Trey are over by that hillside, right? And eventually QZZ is actually going to take this tree spot. And as the other two at the compound move around to either side, QZZ is right there, ready to take any sort of action he might need to take. He's got that back angle. There goes Hoxie. So it's just down to those two on the front line. And QXZZ is doing his job as an anchor point really, really well, holding the fort, giving his team a defense, giving his team cover on those angles, and that is what's going to win them that game.
It's a good one. It was a good play at the end of the day. Almost gave many 1v1s back to back. It was a bit like, oh, that's a bit scary. But actually, could have been a KRX, Nongshin Red Bulls win. If Hyunbin didn't go overly aggressive of the Chamba's position, that was a bit of a throw. As much as I do like Hyunbin, I have to be critical when he does a misplay. That was a bit of a misplay, a bit of a throw coming out from Hyunbin. But still, South Korea showing up massively here. We've still got 2 Miramars, and usually Miramar in South Korea is not a great cocktail.
Would it be safe to say, Max, that Hyunbin finally did something that just pissed you off?
That's a bit of a stretch, but I was a bit like, very bad, Hyunbin. No, I didn't like that.
All right, come down there, One Island. But let's take a look at the overall to see what it's currently looking like with the top 6 teams and how close everything currently is. We started at the beginning of the day, a lot of teams being just separated by 14 points. Right now, Tiamba, they are confirmed to go to the finals. They're not going to be stopping.
Oh, Red Force again ऊपर आ गए भाई साहब.
But if we're looking at the other teams, I mean, 6th place right now to 8th place. Lays only separated by 2 points.
Yeah, I want to sort of have a little touch on GK Esports. I mean, that was that previous game, especially against GOAT, stopping a rotation over on the bridge and finding such a huge position so early into military base. But then what happened? It was kind of just like they couldn't hold on to that spot. They had such an opportunity with 3 eliminations heading on into that rotation, and Alpha 7 and all these teams above them dropping like flies. It was going to be their game. And obviously, you know, we heard it there in the interview. They are happy with the way that they're going, and they are saying that it's just going to have one little game to change things around with them. I do believe it. I do believe that it should have been that game, though.
And by the way, I'm looking at GOAT right now. GOAT is just the biggest outlier for me because of the amount of eliminations. The thing that we've been talking about this team, outside of the win that they have had, they've only gotten 4 placement points.
Look, Hyunbin didn't piss me off, but GOAT is. Okay, that's for sure.
Wallah, ULF के पास अभी भी chance है. अभी भी chance
at the start of the day, right, on Rondo, which was a very impressive.
ULF के पास अभी भी chance है.
Outside of Danqing. And after that, nothing. And I am so
इस 2 मैचों में 10-10 पॉइंट आ जाएंगे. टॉप 6 पे आ जाएंगे. 10-10 पॉइंट. मैं चाहता हूँ ULF आए. मैं चाहता हूँ वल्ला सीरियसली.
headed into the finals.
Yeah, and for KRX, I said it earlier, casters were saying it too. If they want to get a chance at even contending for the top 6, they need to make sure they get a win here in this next game. If not, they're going to be fully out. So let's send it over to Kalaris, which I believe he is with none other than Juan Allen.
All right, drag him on in here. Come on, let's talk about everything that's been going on, because we have got ourselves an interesting situation for Korea as a whole. From my perspective, I was mentioning on a desk before that it feels like the lobby is being quite passive here at the moment, but this is an interesting thing that plays into our Korean teams. I think they're very good at exploiting teams when they're overly aggressive against them, and now we've been able to see a little bit of that here from Nongshim Red Force to be able to kind of put that to bed.
Well, Nongshim have had so many good games on military circles, picking up a host of chicken dinners across it, right? So it's certainly these scenarios which is forcing this frankly stagnant lobby sometimes to jump into those more aggressive situations that is going to push them into a position to be able to exploit those exact weaknesses that you were highlighting there. So I think, yeah, right on the money with that one. Maybe they're going to be given more opportunities as people get more desperate.
Understandable. It bears repeating, though, that it is very understandable that these teams are all being a bit slower about it. $3 million on the line with only these last few games remaining here, John. Is there anyone that you're looking at? Obviously, KRX is, if they get themselves that win, but they're still in last place. They still need big performances.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it would be great if KRX could make it in terms of a rags to riches story. Yeah. I don't see it happening. I'm still looking at Ulf because this is a team that needs to prove themselves, and I'm desperate for them to jump up in towards those top 6 and maybe just about squeak in around the corner for a place amongst the top 6.
The middle pack's still unbelievably thick, dense here for our last day of survival stage. And again, if this passivity continues on, I am concerned for some of the teams. It means that all of our eliminations are going to be spread out across the majority of those teams in the middle pack. And from there, we could even get a tied situation for 6th place.
Absolutely. I mean, chicken dinners will come down to it as well. That first tiebreaker, really important to be able to get those under the belt. People are starting to feel the pressure. The audience is starting to try and alleviate that, but I don't know if it's just adding to it for so many of our teams. That noise has got to feel intimidating. But I see some smiles here and there around the arena, and we're hoping that they can take that pressure and convert it into diamonds.
Yeah, not only is it the Alpha 7 fans, but it's also the FURIA fans on over here as well. They are loud and proud. Everybody for their teams to try and get themselves a top 6 finish, and it is going to be very, very close. The only one that I truly in my mind can guarantee is the fact that Tiamba has looked unbelievably impressive here throughout the survival.
Yeah, absolutely. They have been far and away the best performance.
GG, last chance.
They've now gotten enough probably to see themselves safe, but there's only one way we're going to find out who's going to join them. Kalaris, let's head over to the casters to take us into Miramar.
Thank you, John. Thank you, James. And thank you, Paris. You've been amazing so far today. Keeping the energy here for the survival stage. Building and building. We've had Alpha 7 find their way into a fairly comfortable position, looking better and better with the energy that's been coming out from their side of the audience. FURIA as well. A similar storyline. Everyone's screaming, pouring their hearts out for them. But there are 2 former champions fighting to stay alive in the competition. The other is a current reigning champion in Yangon Galacticos that had so much more to do. For the Yangon fans in the house, let's give them some energy!
Let's get it going. The crowd is excited. They are hyped. They know what's at stake.
चलो मैं हमारा मैप स्टार्ट हो गया भाई और हम रिकॉर्डिंग भी स्टार्ट करते हैं चलो
going home after these next 2 matches. And I've said this before, Jackie, and it's kind of wild after
यार सर्वाइवल स्टेज है ये
just getting a little bit of their
जो क्वालीफाई करेंगे 6 टीमें फाइनल के लिए
be here in Paris, France, experiencing the culture, the love that these players get shown. I'm telling you, everybody out there that's watching, if you're a PUBG Mobile fan, a gaming fan in general, to be able to make it to the Esports World Cup has got to be a dream of a lifetime. I mean, the way that you get taken care of here, the food, every game imaginable. I mean, these guys have barbers, massage therapists on stage for these players. It's insane. And I talked to some of these guys, and they're just like, hey, you know what? Man, my hotel is booked up to the last day of survival. They said, we win, we move on to the top 6, they'll extend it, right? If not, move. Pack your bags, we're going home the next day. So it's time to put every single thing on the line here. Make it happen for your squad.
You're welcome.
And there's only way to do
Chale
that.
yaar, aakhri hai, guys. Aakhri hai.
Give it your damn best, Jukes.
All the best to the all teams. Main aa raha hu ek second.
Everything is earned, nothing is granted, and with battle rages on here with the survival stage, we get into our final 2 games. Our opener on Miramar begins here. We get our circle towards the northern side, and we'll see if there's any more surprises in store.
Oh boy, here we go. Looking at some of the drops, so far so good. No kind of crazy hot drops, no shenanigans here. We see GK stopping by to get some tacos in that gas station. Gonna be needed to fuel up for the road here, as these guys still have a long one to cross. I mean, yeah, 8th place to 6th, only a 2-point gap for the side of GK. But that is the difference in points for now. Man, gotta give some massive love to Nongshim Red Force, right? They were so down on the leaderboards. I think they were like, what, like 12th place, somewhere around there. And just like that, in one game, all the way up to 3rd. And that is how close this thing is. We can see the same thing happen now for AG.AL, RRQ. I mean, even our defending champs, Young Galacticos, right? They're still within that range. And it is absolutely possible for them to make that run. But they got to make it happen now. And speaking of now, why don't you guys go hop in the game while these guys get looted and go ahead and get that Ninetales Fury AUG. The Uzumaki Naruto event is still happening, guys. One of the most phenomenal events in PUBG Mobile history. Go in the game and get that now, because woo, this thing's about to heat up in just a couple minutes.
It will indeed. You're going to want a weapon that can match the level of excitement we got going on here. Live from EWC 26 of PMWC. Remember the name? Get your friends online right now, Jigs. If they haven't sent everyone the link, even the family dog, get them sat down, get them watching, because the games have been delivering. You're doing the esport a disservice, Jigs. You've got to be here right now. You're missing out.
जितना भी points बोलेंगे up and down 6 position तक ये player जाएंगे जो 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 ये 12 हो जाएंगे
7 are going to go ahead and get their El Pozo drop location, so they're going to be looted up
7 से
here towards the end of the
नीचे
game.
तक सारे 12 हो जाएंगे.
They're currently sitting in 4th place.
All the best.
But not comfortable just yet. You know, if they go out early, 3-4,
all the best, boys. All the best.
Get a decent game, and they're stuck having to deal with everything on the last match of the day. And one thing that we haven't talked about.
ULF के पास वल्ला chance है. वल्ला chance ULF के पास.
What's Tian?
Geeky के पास, Wolfie के पास, इनके पास chance है.
They're making it to the finals. When you're that safe,
अगर
what you can do?
इस राउंड पे 10 पॉइंट, अगले राउंड पे 10 पॉइंट जाएंगे. देख
Who
लो.
stole that last croissant at lunch?
Ooh.
Saying, who do I not want to see in the finals?
Yeah, who would I prefer to avoid not being in my lobby? When I come out swinging, we were surprised they even had to be in this position, right? A team that looks absolutely terrifying when they're playing their A game PUBG Mobile. They come out survival stage, reinvigorated and delivering. If they go into finals, they want to do it on their terms, so you're damn right. Who are they going to take the heat to? Will they get aggro and try and kneecap some teams along the way? I hope so.
I hope so too, man. It's going to be wild to see here. Yeah, Tian, but finally true to form. I mean, I was shell-shocked even seeing them here in the survival stage. And that's why I worried for so many of these insane teams that are here. Because
कैसे मेरा आवाज लेट हो रहा है YouTube पे?
Then they're for sure going to make it. That's one more slot gone. And potentially devastating for so many of these squads. Wolves, a team representing the North American side of things. They're right there on that 7th place position cutoff. Only 1 point separated. Can you imagine the pressure these guys are feeling now? Dopeness taking an eye on 721 GS. Both these teams 14th, 15th place. They're not out of the running. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. It could happen. I mean, KRX isn't done yet, but they need to win back-to-back, at least in my opinion. They got to win 2 games in a row.
Yeah, man, it feels like it's one of those where honestly you kind of need like a three-peat situation to give yourself so much gas to push up with some of these other squads still accumulating points in the midst of these games even. We need to see him going out cutthroat as well, Jukes. Got to be big elim action for that side. If this is the start of a new chapter coming into the closer of the last few games of survival stage. A lot of potential twists in the narrative on this one. We'll keep you locked in as things start to shift.
यार नहीं मालूम क्यों आवाज लेट आ रहा है. I don't know, bro. मेरे समझ से बाहर है भाई.
I'll tell you one team that a whole bunch of fans are biting their nails right now because they are staring at AG.AL.
Strange.
This is a team, folks, that is, or this is an organization, right, that's competing in the Esports World Cup overall, event over event. And their org needs them to make it to the finals. And I mean needs them to be in top 6 right here. And they're not far off at all. They're in 11th place, only 9 points separating them from that 6th place cutoff. So the fans of this organization really rooting on these PUBG Mobile superstars to make it happen at the last second. Man, it's so crazy to see here. I don't even know. Like, it's going to hurt to see some of these squads gone because there's so many big names, so many big players. Those 7th, 8th, 9th place teams, I think, are going to really sting if we see them not make it.
So crushing moment for some of them, man. You grind so hard all year long. Try and bring your A game. And it's over before the real meat and potatoes of the action even truly begins to fight for that lion's share of the prize pool. It's not even that as well, Jukes. It's just having the pride of going home.
चल यार दो matches बाकी हैं. देख लो अभी जैसे भी चल रहा है.
We saw the eruption when Alpha 7 did it back in 2024, when Yangon took that win last year. The narrative of the young guns that came out and surprised everyone. And now that's a pipeline for some of these teams. You've got to be within the top 6 to even have a chance to make that your history.
It's top 6 or nothing. Literally, that's the only thing we're staring at on the leaderboards is that line right in between the